Yo, it's future editing me. As I was going through this podcast, I realized that the frame rate was absolute dog shit. But it is a podcast, so you are kind of focused on the audio, so I am just going to post it still. We will try and figure something out in the future to make the frame rate a lot easier. I think I might record on my computer instead of my laptop next time. But this is the first episode of the podcast. It's me and uncloop. Shout out to uncloop. Fucking thanks for being on here. And yeah, I think that's it. So enjoy the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below because I actually do appreciate that feedback. But enjoy. So, Mr. Uncloop. We're finally starting a podcast. My fucking main rival, Mr. 10K. And since this is going to be our first episode,
Yes,
why don't we just give a little introduction? Why don't you take the stage and give us a little yap about yourself?
Hey, my name is Uncloop. I mainly do stuff on TikTok. Looking to maybe do YouTube in the future. I don't know yet.
Bro.
We'll see about what happens there. But I mainly just yap about Blue Lock, specifically different theories that I come up with, doing deep dives on characters, comparing them to players within real life, like actual soccer.
That series is so goated as well.
Bro, that series has been going on since like September. I'm kind of shocked it's gotten as far as it has because
No, I remember
I've
because
done
I
every
remember
Blue.
seeing episode 2 or something. And I was like, this is a fucking great idea. And then it was I didn't see a couple of videos, and then it was episode 25, and I was like, damn, this nigga's got motion.
Yeah, still going. Because I started with the NEL team, so Bachira was the first player I did. So I went from Bachira and Otoya. Those were the main two for Barca. Then we went to Manshine, and then Ubers, then PXG, then BM, and then I started doing the new Gen 11, and then the Master Strikers, and now Nigeria. And I plan on finishing with the World 5, but once we get Ugo and any more prominent side characters and the rest of the new Gen 11, I'm gonna do all of those as well. So
You
it's gonna keep
also
going.
you also said before you had an idea of where you was going to do where I would personally put them for the NEL.
Yeah, so for that one, I do believe that some of the Blue Lock characters didn't go to the right teams.
Agreed.
One I did was Kiora Jin. Kiora Jin going to BM, I don't think that really made any sense. I think he should have gone to Barcha. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of just
same.
gonna go. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of just going through all the prominent characters and essentially saying if I agree or disagree where Kaneshiro put them. And if I disagree, I'll make the argument for why they should have gone to this team. But if I agree, for example, Isagi, I think Isagi going to BM was the right choice. But if there was a second option, he couldn't go to BM, this is where I think he should have gone. So I'll do that with every player or at least every notable player within the NEL, not the new Gen 11. That's where they were signed. So I won't do those, but.
And then I guess
Yeah.
the final thing that I
That's
want to say about your character is that this man, low key in my eyes, is the face of the Ichi the Witch fan base at the moment. Solo carrying that shit, literally.
No.
I haven't
Listen,
seen a
I would
single
love to
video
be-
on that isn't yours.
There is one there's one guy that does it. I can't remember his name. He's always commenting. He's got a really confusing name. It's a bunch of letters and numbers, so I can never remember it. But he comments on my videos, on my Ichi the Witch videos. I would say that he's more popular than me. His videos have gotten more traction than mine have when talking about it.
I mean,
But,
fair, but in my eyes, that's always your game, bro. Honestly, every time I think about him, I'll be scrolling through my TikTok. I'll see you pop up, and you'll be new Ichi the Witch, and I instantly jump off because I'm let me read it myself first, and then I can hop back and watch the video. Yeah. You're my reminder.
I just posted chapter 65. So
Okay, yeah, no, I haven't read that because I've been recording a fucking goal video that I've had an idea for. But we're gonna get there. And then I guess I'll do a little introduction for myself. I'm not gonna do too much because it's just gonna sound like fucking self-glaze. I make TikToks, I analyze the manga, I make theories about how certain characters did certain things. I don't necessarily focus on agendas, even though I hate Hiyori's bitch ass in the power scaling verse. I try to just look at the manga, for example with the bids. I look at the bids, I see who placed where, and then I try and figure out why they were in that rank. It's basically just explaining why we are where we are. But we're here now with a
Mhm.
new type of fucking content where we're starting a
Yes, we're
podcast
here.
with my main fucking rival. Well, I didn't really ask Novocaine if she wanted to
Of
be on,
course.
but I figured might as well start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know I'm number one. You know I'm not number one. I
This
mean,
guy,
maybe
man. This
you
guy.
bigger rival because like you and Nova start at the same time, so maybe you guys are bigger rivals. But
I'm not gonna lie, the reason why I have kind of you two specifically as my rivals is because it's both sides of the fandom. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, where did those balloons
what
come from? What?
was that?
I didn't even press any. Oh, we moved though. But anyway, there's kind of like a system behind how I chose my rivals. I chose you because obviously you was kind of close to what I was going for in terms of like making videos and stuff, and you was on like the male
Yeah,
side of the fan base. I would say so. Like you kind of dip your toes in the other side as well, but you're mainly on the male side. I then chose Novocaine
yeah,
because for one, she started at the exact same time as me, and then for two, she's also on the other side of the fan base. So I've got
yeah,
two rivals from both sides where I can constantly like compare where I am. And then it just
yeah.
worked out
I
to be
definitely
perfect.
I did some stuff on their side. I don't know if you remember my whole like Rayo dies theory. That was
Yeah, dude.
definitely like
Yes.
that. I think the Rayo dying theory and like his relationship with Nagi was like my first time going into like the more female side of the Blue Lock community, and
Hmm.
it did surprisingly well. A lot of people actually like messed with it, like messed with the theory that I had.
And I think like kind of the more we're seeing of what's happening in the World Cup, low key, you might have been actually spitting with that take. Cause like I've been talking to Novakin, I've been talking to other like content creators as well, and a lot of people have said like they don't think that Rayo's going to have a happy time in this World Cup phase, at least while Nagi's not here. And it's like, damn,
Yeah,
my guy predicted this back in like when did you upload that video? Because it wasn't even towards the end of last year. Yeah, it was
it
really
was
fucking early on.
it was early in 2025. It was like I want to say that that video was the one that started to get me traction because
Yeah.
like what I was doing like before I did Blue Lock, I was doing like a lot of power scaling stuff, but I started to get out of that, out of the power scaling community because I did one video that was like reacting to Blue Lock takes, and that one had like I got more traction than I what I usually got, and I was like, okay, let me do some Blue Lock content, and Blue Lock content was doing really well, and so I started making up theories, and I reread the series and trying to do all this stuff, and I think the Rayo dying theory was like the first video that I had gotten that had passed like 50,000 views, and I was like, okay, I can get somewhere
Damn.
with this, and I just started running
Damn.
like
Hell
the
yeah,
rest.
bro. We love to fucking see it. We love to see it. Yeah, because you've been doing this shit
Mhm.
for a while. Like, you've got the consistency behind it because you started back in,
Yeah,
what
I've
was it,
mhm.
21, 23? I know it's an odd number.
Um, it was my first ever video was 21, but that was like just it was a meme, like stupid video that which I still believe that if I still believe in the take that I made during that video,
Okay,
but I
wait,
really
wait. What was the take?
the take that was like Arthur Boyle solos One Piece. Like if you put like Arthur Boyle from Fire Force versus
Yeah, I can.
Like all of One Piece, Arthur Boyle would win, but that's like whatever. I started like mainly posting in 2022, and that was like just strictly power scaling stuff. Funnily enough, I had posted a Blue Lock video, and that was like giving Blue Lock players like FIFA rankings. That was one of my
Hmm.
most popular videos for a while, for like
Yeah,
like half a year. And that was
yeah,
like giving
because
them
like
FIFA cards.
you can like I'll glaze you at this point. You're really good at like kind of conveying blue lock skills into IRL skills, like ranking like who's going to be what character IRL. No fucking like I can't remember what the rule thing you set for it was. I think no
Um,
retired players. That was it, right?
I think
Yeah,
current
current
players, yeah.
playing players, and then you're able to go into like their fucking stats and everything. Like, I think one of the biggest selling points for your channel is your ability to kind of like mix and merge fantasy of football and like reality of football. Cause like I've been seeing you pop off for ages doing that shit.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do. Yeah, I gave myself like two stipulations. So one, no retired players or like
Hmm.
deceased players, and then I tried to narrow it down to top five leagues. So I'm essentially taking all of soccer, all of football, whatever you want to call it, and just narrowing it down to the Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga, Liga, and the Serie A. I can't go outside those, or at least I've tried not to. There have been a couple players where like for instance Bunny Iglesias. I compared him to like his name is uh like Ryan at Nuari, but he
Mm-hmm.
plays for like Fenerbahce, who is in the Turkish Super League. So it's like
Yeah.
there are a couple players that are outside of the Big Five, but like 90% of them, they're all in the Big Five leagues. And so I've had to pull players from Wolverhampton. I've had to pull players from like Sassuolo, players from Como, players from like AS Monaco, and like all of these like lower end table teams. So it's like it's been pretty tough trying to pull like some obscure options, definitely.
Well, I want to say then, as a person that like just watches those videos, it really speaks to like kind of the ball knowledge you have that you're able to go down to these like lower like level teams and shit, and you're still able to convey how you think this character is similar to this player as a person. Because it's like, from
Mhm.
me, right? Like, I do like football, but I don't really care to watch a lot of it. Because if I have the time to watch it, I have the time to go and play it, and I'd rather go and play it. It's more fun to me. So being able
Yeah.
to see somebody who, where the fuck are these emotes coming from, bro? Where did that thumb come from?
I was wondering if you saw that. I was like, what? There's a like bubble on your screen. I
I'm
don't know
not
what that
clicking.
is.
It's nothing on my. I don't know, bro. But we move. What was I saying though? Yeah, it
Yeah.
basically just speaks about like it's a real testament to your ball knowledge that you're able to pull out these fucking abstract ass players that I've never heard of or seen of before, and you're able to still convey like well formatted how you think this player's like this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, one I did recently was Augie. I did Augie for Manshine. I compared him to Chris Wood, and a lot of people were like, "Damn, I never realized that him and Chris Wood were actually very similar." Because they are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Nottingham Forest last year, they were a really big team. Like, they were a shocker in the Prem. Um, if you ever do watch that season, watch Chris Wood and the way he plays. He's very, very similar to how Augie plays. Minus like Augie jumping in the air and doing a bicycle kick and his foot's like all the way
Yeah,
up here over
yeah,
his.
yeah. Apart from that part,
But like the way Chris Wood has been talked about by defenders and by managers and like people he's played with, he's usually one of the smartest players. Like he has a very high ball IQ, I guess you could say, or
yeah,
like field IQ. Augie is the same way with him being the doctor and understanding like the fundamentals of how like Nagi plays soccer and his play style specifically, and how he can do that with like almost any other player. Chris Wood is very similar to Augie, so that was one I was like really proud of recently.
yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell fucking yeah. But
Yeah.
I guess just to kind of add more topics into here, do we want to talk about Ichi the Witch, the new chapter?
Yeah, we can. Because the chapter was more just Descartes. It was some Descartes backstory.
Oh right, okay, bet.
So spoilers, because I know you're caught up to this point. But for people who haven't read Ichi the Witch, this is a spoiler warning. Um, we finally get to learn how Libro died, her younger brother. We learn
Mm-hmm.
how he dies in this
Oh
chapter.
damn. Okay, so big plot point.
Yeah, big reveal. Um, he dies, and a lot of people had speculated this, and they were right. He dies because of the World Hater Magic. That's who
Yep.
kills him.
Yeah.
And we learn that, do you remember back in chapter 15 or 16 where they say that like the World Hater Magic like 15 years ago or something had completely warped an entire mountain, like
Yeah.
3 miles, like yeah, it was part of Polaris Mountain. That's where Descaris used to live. She used to live on Polaris
Oh
Mountain.
shit. Okay.
And essentially, Descaris and Libro, they were trying to run off the mountain to go study magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the World Hater Magic's cage just happened to appear and split them apart. And Libro was stuck in the cage, and Descaris could do nothing but watch as her brother was.
No.
Dude, it was terrible. Like,
No.
so, like, she literally says that she helplessly watched her brother be swallowed by hell. Like, that
Jeez.
is
You
rough.
know what that actually reminds me of? Do you remember I think it was like 2012 Godzilla? The first like kind of opening sequence for that where it's in Japan, they're in the nuclear facility, some shit blows up and then The guy's basically got to lock his wife into the part where all the fucking radiation's coming out of, and he's just got to look at her
Oh
through that little fucking window. That's what that reminds me of. I know for a fact other
no,
people know what I'm talking about, but damn, bro, that shit's heartbreaking.
I might have seen the movie, but it's been so long that I don't remember it. I don't
Yeah, that's
remember it.
fair. That's fair. Do you want can we do like a fucking little recap of like what's going on in Ichi the Witch just to give like people something to
Yeah,
work off?
so I'll kind of go over like the past like 5 or 10 chapters.
Yeah, because
So
I feel like you're a
essentially,
lot more well versed in this part than me.
yeah, so essentially what they're doing right now is Ichi just got back from saving the country of Kagami,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been introduced to the world as the first male witch. It's like
Yep.
officially introduced. Like they had a whole big party, ceremony, all that stuff. And so what they're doing now is Monagold, who like leads all the witches, she takes Team Descaris and tells them to go to the ship called Chronostasis. And this ship is like extremely mysterious. They don't know a lot about it. And this is when they figure out that there's a magic on there who literally controls time. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
able
The
to
goat,
affect
the
time.
goat.
Chrono Weaver, he's a goat.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure out that Chrono Weaver, the magic that can control time, has a wife, and that wife is a human, and they have a child on the way. And this flips like the whole series on its head because we now know that magics and humans can have children, and people are speculating that Ichi is actually part magic, and that's why he was like abandoned at a really young age. And now
Mm-hmm.
people are saying that the world hater magic could potentially be a human magic hybrid, and that's why he's the only one that has like the most human looking appearance outside of Hitsugi. And so with that, they befriend, or I should say, befriend the Chrono Weaver magic, and they learn of Kizashi, who's one of the World Hater 7 stars, which is like you kind of think of it like the 12 Kizuki, like the upper moons from Demon Slayer. Same
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
And they attack Kizashi to get rid of him, but they fail miserably. And Lord Uroro takes over Ichi's body to help defeat Kizashi. So Kizashi's driven away. When they when he comes back, Chrono Weaver and Descaris fight off against Kizashi and Hitsugi. So it's a big battle right now. And the battle has been brought to 3 different places. On the Chronostasis, it is Hitsugi versus Descaris.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the ocean, it's Chrono Weaver versus half of Kizashi. And then the other half of Kizashi is chasing after Gokuraku and his group who are trying to get back to like the giant harbor that has like this mirror that they can teleport Minerva away to because they're trying to kill the baby. They don't want the baby
Yeah.
to exist.
Yeah. So just to give
And
like a quick
right now,
story recap of where we're at with Ichi the Witch, I'll just give like a real quick rundown of where we're at story wise.
yeah,
Ichi the Witch basically follows Ichi, no fucking shit, a little young boy who lives Ichi who lives
no,
on a mountain kind of by himself and he just goes around hunting shit. Kind of like very caveman vibes. In this universe, though,
yeah,
there is something that exists, which is basically magic, and only women can use magic. There hasn't been any male fucking witch in history so far. But then there's some
yeah.
shenanigans that happen on the mountain, and how exactly does he get discovered again? I forgot that part. Because I know he's on the
So
mountain, I know he does hunting, and then
yeah, so what happens is when he's on the mountain, he discovers Uroro, who's like the king of magics, right?
mm-hmm.
And at the time, he is the most powerful magic in the world. And the reason that is because the trial that he has, it allows for no woman to complete his trial. So he essentially has this like heart jewel on his chest.
Yep,
And the way he was created is that women can't pierce it. And since only women can acquire magics, he's essentially immortal. Like no witch, doesn't matter how powerful, if they're female, they can't acquire him.
yep,
So what Ichi does is he sets up a trap, and the trap catches Ororo off guard, which allows Ichi to stab him in the heart, and thus acquiring Ororo. And this is like extremely rare. It's like it does there's this long explanation of like, oh, men can't use magic. But
yep,
if there's a man who could use magic, the chances of him even acquiring a magic is still astronomically low. It's like
yeah.
Ichi's like one in a billion essentially.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it's like
it's kind of similar to how the whole fucking thing happened with Yuji at the start of JJK, where it's like, oh, he swallowed the finger. There's a 1 in like 10 billion fucking chance that that Sukuna manifests in his body.
like he wouldn't get turned into a curse or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, really, really rare thing.
Yeah, so then
So
obviously he acquires the fucking king magic, and then again I'm kind of lost on this because like the earlier plot points I was reading it, but I wasn't that too much into it. I think I need to do a recap. I'm kind of remembering more so stuff that we've had recently. So again, just take away the
yeah,
fucking recap.
yeah. So now that he's acquired Orodo, he teams up with Descaris, who's the most powerful witch,
Hmm.
and they hunt a couple Magics just to get him like used to this. They bring him to the Mantino Witches Association so they can like confirm that he's actually a male, and everyone's shocked that he's can really use magic. And they send him on like a a test run to catch the Hisame Magic, which is like just a giant shark that can use ice powers. He
Yep.
succeeds, they bring him back, they declare him as a witch, but they are confused on whether or not they should make him public. This is when he goes through a second test against a witch named Toga Ice.
Hmm.
And this is when they meet the World Hater Magic or the God Magic. This is the like Orodo's right here, the World Hater Magic's up here. There's a clear difference between the two of them
Yeah,
because even
he's really him. He's really that guy.
he is like even Orodo is scared shitless of this guy. Like he does it is when he first appears, Orodo says, "We need to leave. This is the last guy I want to see right now." And Orodo knows almost every witch. He knows every magic, and this guy is like, "No, I don't want to deal with him."
Yep.
Ichi tries to fight against him. He loses. He gets saved by Descaris. And then Descaris is on the verge of losing as well because this is the most powerful character in the series.
Yep.
Toga Ice saves them. The World Hater Magic leaves. And then after all of that, they go to the country of Kagami. They discover the magic there, save the entire country, meet Goku Raku, who is another male who can use magic, but it's like a stipulation for him because he's technically not even human anymore.
Yeah.
That's like a
He's
whole
got
thing
like
that I
a
won't explain.
load of like robotic implants and everything that
Yeah,
use magic and not
he's more
electricity.
yeah, he's more robot than human, and essentially um his robot parts have a specific ore that can hold magic in them. So that's what allows him to use magic. And then as I said like earlier, like 10 minutes ago, Ichi gets introduced to the world as the first male witch. They go to the
Hmm.
chronostasis, the
Hmm.
Chrono Weaver, Kizashi appears, Hitsugi appears, big fight right now, and that's essentially where we're at with that.
Yup.
But
Yup.
I do want to say, I think what we could do in the future is maybe we both read Ichi the Witch, get caught up, and have a whole stream just
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
facts. No, this is facts
That's
because like I remember you was talking in my DMs about was it somebody being a Buddhist or something like that, or it was I remember it was
yeah,
something religious in Ichi the Witch.
yeah. There's religious symbolism within Ichi the Witch already. It's mainly the world hater magic because in Buddhism or Buddhism, which however it's pronounced, to reach nirvana, it's essentially a state of now. Obviously, I'm not a Buddhist, so my
Yeah, take
explanation
what
might
we're
not be
saying with a
100.
grain of salt.
Yeah, with a grain of salt from what about Buddhism. But to reach nirvana, it's essentially a state of like nothingness. You don't care about anything. Like everything, like all the worldly distractions just cease to exist. And that's essentially like what the world hater magic is. He doesn't care what he warps. He just appears, warps, and then disappears. It's a
Yeah, that's what I
very
was gonna say. He's
simple
got that catchphrase.
how and it's very similar to how or like how nirvana is achieved. It's just straightforward, simple. You don't care about what happens. All earthly desires are excluded from your mind. Obviously, we're going to need more content. It's definitely not 100% airtight. So
Yeah.
people could probably pick it apart and say, well, no, there's this and this and that. So it's like, but I definitely think we should reread the entire series and have a whole podcast about that because I did have two things that I wanted to talk
Yes.
with
Let me let
to
me
you.
let me sit up in my chair real quick.
Here we go. Let's set up two.
Yeah.
First thing, what do you think Shido's significance will be in the France game?
I think Shido's significance in the France game is going to be bringing kind of new inspiration to Isuki, kind of like how Ons did at the end of the Nigeria game. Because obviously
Okay.
Isuki so far in the story has been kind of using Shido or what Shido does as examples for what he can do to improve himself. I think that's going to
Mhm.
kind of be at his at its like most obvious in this France game, because Shido was the person who
Okay.
kind of first showed Isagi what reflex that fucking thumb again. But Shido was the
That,
Shido was the first person to
yeah.
show Isagi what a reflex X reflex goal was. And not only that, but Shido
Mhm.
was also the first person to delve into flow in the U20 game. He kind of then set that
Yeah.
standard for Isagi to follow in the future. It does take him some time to catch up, because obviously Isagi's a
Mhm.
talented learner. He can't just whip this shit out of his fucking ass. But I think,
Mhm.
oh, I think it's still kind of there that Shido has been setting examples for what Isagi can do in the future to improve himself. So in this France game, I think he's going to bring some of that chaos into the field. Obviously, start fucking up Hugo, because Hugo is a talented learner and everything has a structure and everything has a meaning. And because
Yeah.
Shido's kind of destroyed that structure, and he's still been able to create a goal somehow, Isagi's going to kind of use that idea of chaos and that fucking goal formula kind of that he has to then improve himself and look in within himself.
Mhm.
That's where I think
Yeah.
we're going with this whole fucking Shido in the France game. I think it is going to kind of show us how much Kaneshiro is willing to delve into side characters as well, because obviously Shido has existed in the story for a very fucking long time now, and we know nothing about him. We don't know his backstory. He's not got any special eyes. He doesn't really look like he's changed. He has, but obviously you need to look into that yourself. So with this France
Yeah.
game, we're obviously going to see kind of Shido be inspiration to Isagi, and it's kind of going to set the standard of where we're going, how much we're investing into these side characters. But what about you though?
Mhm.
What do you think his role is going to be?
Yeah, I agree with like most of what you said. I think one thing that I would also mention is that at least for me, whenever I see Shido play, and you've alluded to this like when we've talked previously, Shido is always the person, at least in my eyes, whenever he's on the field, he's always the one that brings the field to the next level, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
like yeah, within the U20 game, right? The U20 level, it's kind of like we'll just say it's right here.
Mm-hmm.
You have like the very beginning and then Psy scores and the level of play increases just a little bit, but it doesn't get that much better. Like the difference between Psy scoring and then Psy having a shot blocked at the end of the first half, the
Yeah.
level of play doesn't increase that much. The second Shido gets on the field,
Mm-hmm.
the level of play rises astronomically.
Yup.
And then, so like, we'll say we started here. Shido's now on the field. So here's like the level of play. Shido then reaches flow and scores his big bang drive. The level of play has risen once again.
Yup.
He, in the span of 15 minutes, takes the level of play so high, it's insane. Then we move to the PXG game. And the PXG game, it happens really quickly. It's
Yeah. Kind of
Isagi,
a bit too
this is
quick.
the highest level of play that we have ever seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shido off rip creates a peak performance chemical reaction with Charles, which by the way, Loki says is the first ever chemical reaction Charles has ever done,
Yes,
meaning
because
that
that's something that I want to talk about. Why the fuck does Loki talk like Rin was the one to awaken Charles? Like I've seen a lot of people make the argument that like Rin was the person who first awakened Charles, and when you read that game, Loki kind of alludes that Rin was the first person, but they make such a big fucking emphasis on the goal that Shido and Charles scores. It's obviously Shido that kind of opens up that door first, and then Rin just walks through it. But
yeah,
continue,
which is
continue.
interesting. If you look back, so like let's assume Charles got all of PXG's assists, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume that within the Manshine game specifically, he had to have assisted on at least one of those goals, right? It would make
Absolutely.
what's interesting is that we see Destroyer Rin in the Manshine game,
Yep.
right? So Charles, despite seeing Destroyer Rin, was unable to form a chemical reaction at first, meaning that like this base Shido that we see would
Mm-hmm.
be above Destroyer Rin because he was the one that was actually able to catch up to one of his quote perverted
Dude,
passes,
I didn't
right?
even fucking
So
think about that. Holy cook.
so it's like it's interesting that Loki says what he says after he scores, like, oh, Charles has never done a chemical reaction with anyone. So not Karasu, not Tokimitsu, obviously, or Zantetsu,
Obviously.
not even the same Destroyer Rin that was able to surpass Saitoshi in that one instance. Not even which this Destroyer Rin is better than that version
Yep.
of Destroyer Rin, right?
Yep.
And he still failed. Like the guy who's literally running on pure instincts and adrenaline was unable to catch up to one of Charles' perverted passes. But
Yep.
this peak performance Shido 5 minutes into the PXG
Yeah.
game was like like I get that Destroyer Rin evolves and he like truly awakens Charles. Like he's the one that lets Charles like rise to that next level. But why is it not talked about that Shido was able to awaken Charles first? He's the one that brings
Yes.
Charles into that
Yes.
that free flowing little perverted gremlin self that he's now known for within the manga. I don't know why that's
Yeah.
not talked about enough.
Yeah, because
So it
it's like the example that I was saying where it's like Shido kind of opened up the door to this version of Charles.
yeah.
Rin was just the first person to
Mhm.
walk through it. You can't like if
Yeah.
we had Berserker Rin still at towards the end of the PXG game, but there wasn't a Shido goal at the start. I don't think Charles would have made that pass the way that he did. I don't think he would have been nearly as excited about it
I
because
don't
the door's not open
yeah,
anymore.
because we see that the later in the game when like Kunigami's man marking Shido or whatever, Charles is so connected to Shido that the second that like he just refuses to pass to Rin.
Yeah.
He knows that Rin can access this like destroyer version of himself, right? He still just does not care. The only the only way he cares is when Rin forces himself to evolve and literally starts saying like, "Yeah, let's die over soccer. Let's
Yeah,
put our
yeah, he's like
lives on the
gather
line."
all those who are willing to die for me and shit like that.
Yeah, and that's when Charles finally starts to like he shivers a little bit. He's like, "Oh, okay, like this guy's serious."
He's
So
about
like,
action.
but does does Rin truly reach that state without like the field being focused on Shido? Because like, despite Shido being like clearly being like locked down by Kunigami,
Yep.
up to that point, Rin was the fourth actor of this game. It was Kaiser after he scored Magnus,
Yep.
Isagi second with his two gun volley,
Yep.
and people still remembering Shido's Dragon Drive. Rin had not done anything as significant as those three things up to this point. So, like, if you put Rin as that third option below Isagi and Kaiser, does he reach that same state? I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
I'm
I'm
not
not sure.
convinced. Cause this is the same Charles, by the way, that saw that Shido was getting locked down, told Rin, "Oh yeah, like that's a good place to receive the ball. I'm not gonna fucking pass there though," and then said to Loki, his master, "Master, take me off. They're blocking my passing routes to Shido." He did not give a fuck about
Yeah,
Berserker Rin
getting
or the potentials of
done.
what Berserker Rin could do, and we know that
Yeah,
he saw Berserker Rin because you just said like Berserker Rin was in the Manshine game. Charles must have been
yeah.
there to see that part. He didn't give a fuck,
Mm.
bro. He didn't give a fuck. So, this idea
There,
that Berserker Rin was the one to solely awaken Charles, just, it's wrong. It's
yeah, it's just
literally wrong.
like the way I equate it, like what you said earlier with like Shido was the one that opened the door. Like I 100% agree. It's just that once Shido opened the door, I would say he like I wouldn't say like cracked it open, but he got it open, and then Berserker Wim was the one that just kicked the rest of the door in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's just like he cracked the door, Shido cracked the door open. It's there, it's open, and then Rin just came by and just kicked it the rest of the way open. That's the way I see it.
yep. That's
That's
literally a
essentially
perfect way to
that's
sum it up. So, okay, I have a question for you then. Do you think that because PXG lost Rin, as in their bid on Rin, do you think that PXG then overvalued what Shido was capable of? Or do you think it's like, it makes sense?
um I mean, I think it makes sense. Like the main problem I have with the bids is like the way they went game to game. Like
Yeah,
those
the
didn't make
weekly
any
bids
sense
are
to
a
me.
fucking mess.
They were not good. But what I have to say to that is I don't think they overvalued Shido at all. I used to be a firm believer that Shido's bid should have been lower. And
Yeah.
I do still believe. I think he should have been 150, not 160.
Yeah,
But like
I can hear
to
that.
to say that like he should be 160, it's not crazy at all. I don't think they overbid at all. Um, because we also have to realize that like, well, do we know like when these bids are put into place? Like, did PXG know that Real Madrid was going to put in a bid for Rin and maybe they did start to panic or what
True.
happened
Yeah,
there?
true. I didn't even think of that.
Or was it just like, oh, Shido scored again and he proved that he's worth more than our previous bid. So we'll bid for him too. And then we'll also bid for Rin. It's just PXG didn't bid as much as Real Madrid did. Real Madrid must have saw more in Rin than PXG did. So I think that, especially because um, Real Madrid had just bid for Kaiser in the
Yeah,
previous game. So
at the end of the Ubers
for
game.
me, it would be like, oh yeah, at the end of the Ubers game. So I think like if I was someone in the PXG, if I was someone who was bidding, I'd be like, oh, the best striker here, Kaiser, Real Madrid just bid 300 and whatever million for him. Why in the world would they bid for Rin? So let's just put in a bid knowing that we're probably going to get him because the first three games, PXG had bid for Rin in every single game.
Yeah. Yeah, the first
Like he
fucking
was
bid he
he's
gets,
one of the
it's
few
even off
characters
PXG.
PXG, yeah. He's not like an Isagi who was originally from Dortmund, then it went to Bayern. Or what was it? I think Aiku had a bid from Bologna before it went to Ubers.
Yeah.
Um I what else was it? Who are some other characters? I think Otoya had a bid from some other club before it went to Atletico Madrid. And oh, Bachira had a bid from FC Porto before it went to FC Barça. So like
Yeah.
there were players getting bids from different teams. PXG was on Ren from the start. They wanted him
Hmm.
from the start. So I don't think they overbid. I don't think they like panicked and overbid for Shido. I just think they had both on a lock, and then Real
Yeah.
Madrid came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I did want to get your opinion on that because obviously, if we're talking power scaling wise, we're technically rivals again because I'm on Shido, you're on Barrow, and like the end of the
Yeah,
NEL.
exactly.
Oh my god, when those bids first came fucking through and you heard everybody talking about the rankings, Jesus Christ, it was actually awful. Cause I will
Not
also
a fun
admit,
day.
like, as a Shido fan, Barrow did get fucked over in the NEL. Like, the more I reread the NEL and the more I kind of like digest it and everything, I'm like, yeah, I can actually kind of hear the argument that Uber's lost to plot. Because for one, we've got the whole rule about it being first to three. That one rule
Yeah.
completely eliminates the existence
Oh,
of Uber's
yeah,
philosophy to begin
that
with. Like,
was
what?
terrible.
Yeah,
Like
no, like,
Uber's could have been the best team without like because Uber's like it's their whole thing is sitting back, absorbing pressure, hitting the counter. But
yep,
now that they have to score 3 goals, they are forced to play a style of soccer that the team is literally not made to play. They are
yep.
not made to actively go after and score goals. Despite that, though, they still played really well despite all of that,
Third
which
best team in
was
the NEL still. By far. Because you've got like PXG and Bastard Munchen, you've got Ubers, then you've got a massive fucking gap, then you've got like Barcha, and then another massive gap, and then Manshine.
a massive gap to Manshine. Oh gosh. Yeah,
But like,
that's
cause
funny.
because I will admit, like, being a Shido fan, seeing Shido's performance in the PXG game, 60 million, a bit much. A bit much. The final bid makes a lot of sense, but like 60 million for what he did in the PXG game, I can hear people getting mad about that. And then
Yeah,
we go back over to Barrow. Barrow gets like
mhm.
20 million for his last game or something like that. He gets
Yeah, I guess
actually fucked over by the bidding system because he
like
scores I think he has like 3 confirmed actual formulas. I'm not even coping with that one. And it makes sense that he
mhm.
gets 50 million for each, but they don't give him any sort of like compensation for being that consistent compared to all the
Yeah,
other strikers.
because yeah, like we can assume that like he should have scored those like 2 goals in the because we see Sendo score one, the final
Yeah.
one. It would be safe to assume that he scored the other two. Like who, unless Sendo pulled out a masterclass and scored a brace.
A hat trick.
unless he just pulled it out somehow and like went crazy, we can assume that Barrow scored 2 goals. I mean, I made a video on this like a long time ago, which I think you were the one that inspired me to make it. Comparing Shido and Barrow. I said that like Barrow's his like predator eye shot should be worth more than his counter attack with Lorenzo. And
Yeah.
then I also said like his gamble shot should obviously be worth more than both of them by like a
He got
significant degree.
30 million for that for the weekly bid. What
30
are we even talking? Outplayed two outplayed two Metavision users. This is like a better setup than the 5-stage volley. I'm not talking about shot wise, I'm talking about like in terms of players being there to stop him. He had
I,
Isagi, who could use Metavision 100% of that game now, and he had Kaiser, who I'm pretty sure was just finishing tweaking out about how he's going to crush Isagi and how he's going to improve and
yeah,
shit.
it's like a
He went against
full
both of them and scored a nutmeg shot. Why am I getting balloons? What the actual fuck is going on? But
I
anyway,
don't
we
know.
see that Barrows managed to outsmart two of the best Metavision users we've seen so far. Why am I still getting balloons? But he gets
Oh my
30
gosh.
million for that. This is even after he scored two. Well, this is after he scored his first goal. He scored 2 goals in that
Mhm.
game. One of them was objectively a super goal. Everybody calls it a super goal. And they give him 30
Yeah,
fucking million for that.
that's ridiculous, man. It shouldn't have been 30. Like, oh my God. He was just getting fucked over. Like
Yeah,
that's all I can
actually.
say. But he's gonna cook in the England game. It's
I
fine.
yes,
Cause
that was
like
another thing that I was going to talk about as well, like this whole like France and England game. I don't think that Barrow's going to have any importance in this France game whatsoever, and I think that's probably going to be a good thing. I think what Kaneshiro might be painting now with like Barrow and Shido is that obviously because Shido was on the billboard and because we saw him next to Rin and Isagi, he's going to kind of be
mhm.
the next person chronologically that we go into. Because, for example, we had
Yeah,
Nigeria where we had Rin and Isagi and we kind of delved into those. We now have the France game where we're going to delve into Shido. And then this England game, because it's the last game, because Blue Lock can't lose this game because they've just lost to France, and because Barrow's been getting ignored as a striker this entire time, I know that this is the formula for a generational Barrow performance.
dude.
I know.
I I I am a firm believer that Barrow is going to score the goal that keeps Japan alive. Like
Oh,
he's going to be the
facts.
one that
Oh,
the
please
East.
inject that into my veins. Oh my
I need.
god.
'Cause, like, I was explaining this earlier. Before you had joined my live, someone
Yep.
had asked me for a prediction on Barrow and Shido. And I made a video about this. I don't know if you saw it, but whenever, because like I'm a firm believer that Isagi's going to like fail this game. Like he's going
Yeah,
to fail to
yeah.
lead block to beat France, and that's going to put him in a slump. I don't think it's going to like completely destroy his ego, but he's definitely going to be like down from where he was in the Nigeria game.
Yeah.
If there is one player within Blue Lock that has consistently forced Isagi to
Mhm.
evolve and get better,
Mhm.
it is
Mhm.
Boro. I can
Mhm.
name so many different instances within the manga where both Isagi and Baro actively crush each other just to have the other one evolve and surpass them. And this,
Yeah,
it's
the
the
whole
same
fucking
formula.
thing in the second selection was about that. Like
Yeah.
the constant back
There's
and forth.
first
Yeah.
in the first selection, Baro crushes Isagi.
Yep.
Isagi realizes that to beat team what is it? Team
X.
V is Nagi's team? Is it team V or X? Is
Barrow's team
Nagi's
is Team
team?
X. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's Nagi's is team V, right?
Yeah, Nagi's is
Team
Team
V
V.
Nagi's is. Yeah. So to surpass and beat team V, who does Isagi go to? He
Yep.
goes to Baro
Yep.
and he evolves and defeats Nagi. Second selection. um there's the first
Isagi
match with
loses to
Naruhaya.
Rin. Yeah, he loses to Rin. He's down in the fucking dumps. He's having a slump. Where does he go? He goes and fights
He
Naruhaya and Barrow.
he plays against Baro, learns how to adapt and surpass Baro in that instance, gets him on his
Mm-hmm.
team, destroys
Mm-hmm.
Baro's ego, then Baro comes back and
Mm-hmm.
evolves and helps and saves Isagi and
Yep.
Nagi and all them from losing.
Yep.
We then move to the third selection. And the very interesting thing is we get all the stuff about with Blue Lock Nagi and how Baro and Nagi hate each other. We get that in the main story and in Blue
Yep.
Lock Nagi. When the starting lineup is introduced and Baro's not on the team, who's the one person he looks to? He looks directly at Isagi. He
Yep.
says that I mean, it's at least at this moment, it implies that he hates Nagi more than Isagi. They've interacted more, they've clashed heads more, they've been at each other's throats more than Baro and Isagi has. But he
Yeah.
still looks at Isagi. He's more pissed that Isagi made it than he did. We
I
go
also
to
just want to say,
the
like, at
YouTube.
the end of the second selection, like that last game in the second selection, Barrow was seen
Mhm.
in Isagi's eyes as the literal fucking make or break for him beating Rin. Like he was
Yeah,
glazing
yeah.
Barrow so much in that game when they was playing against Rin that he was like, he's the puzzle piece, he's the last one, the unpredictable wild card. That's who
Mhm.
he saw
Yeah,
to
exactly.
beat Rin.
Yeah. And then we get into the U20 game. Baro throws the field into chaos
Yep.
and scores literally because he says, "Oh, Rin's just another Isagi." Like that's why
Yeah.
I was able to. You two, like to me, you two motherfuckers are the same. You're the
Yeah.
same two sides of the same coin. We then get to the Ubers game. Isagi destroys Baro, destroys him
Mm-hmm.
so bad that he goes against Snuffy's ideals. Then Baro comes back, surpasses those ideals, crushes Isagi so bad that he's like, I can't envision a way of beating Baro. Like
Yep.
he literally cannot beat Baro until Hiyori comes on the field, and then Hiyori surpasses all of Uber's designs. This would be Baro included. So
Yep.
these two, ever they're down on their luck, they just crush each other, and then both of them evolve and become like get better than they were before. And this is going to be the same formula with England. They're going to be down like 2-1, 3-2. Someone's going to score. I don't know who. Maybe Rin scores or maybe Isagi scores or something like that. The game's going to be tied. Baro's going to be the one that wins the game for them
Mm-hmm.
and sends them through the next round.
To be
It's going to be
honest, I
Baro.
wouldn't even be surprised if Barrow gets a brace in this England game. Like he's the
Oh
person
my
that brings them out of losing to get a tie and then like scores the final goal to keep them alive in this bracket phase. Like in
god.
my eyes, if we're going to have like obviously depending on how much we go into Shido's character, that makes so much fucking sense for Barrow's character because it's like we've ignored him for this fucking long. It goes into all like the restricted aspects of this environment, and it still kind of shows that Barrow is still this overwhelming threat as a striker. Because if he scores one goal, obviously, I'm not going to shit talk him or anything, but I personally, because I'm a pretty avid Barrow fan, I would say that he's probably like my second favorite character, to be honest. But if he only scores one goal in that England game, I'm gonna be disappointed in him. You're telling me we went through
Maybe just
all of this restriction, all of this like ignoring your character, and you come back with one? That's not the Barrow I know. The Barrow I know would walk down the thorny path and carry everyone on his fucking back to make sure that they make it through the bracket phase. And
yeah.
oh
If
fuck, there was
if he
something I was
does
gonna say about like the dynamic between France and England, but you can go on for a second. Let me think about that.
it's just gonna be really quick. If Baro does score two against England, me and Crocodile are about to be the most annoying fucking people on
Yeah, yeah,
TikTok. Like
yeah.
we are going to be so annoying, and you guys are going to hate us.
I
You will
mean,
hate us.
I'm
I know
okay with
Crocodile
that because
doesn't.
I'm going to be so annoying this France game. I know for a fact. As soon as that motherfucker's boots touch the field, I'm going to be the most annoying content creator until that game ends.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
don't blame you. I'm gonna be rooting for France. I'm rooting for France. I don't
Yeah, on
like.
God though, I am unless Barrow or Shido play, I don't give a fuck about Japan. I'm not going to lie. Or Nanase, to be fair. If Nanase plays, I'm going to be so invested. Because, like, it might just be because he's the weakest at this point, but, like, I really fucking like Nanase's character. It might just be because, like, obviously he's weak and it's more interesting to see weaker characters evolve over time than it is being like, oh, stronger character got stronger. Shocker. But
Yeah.
unless those three are gracing the field, I don't give a fuck. Especially if Hiyori's bitch ass is on the field. If Hiyori's bitch ass is on
Oh
the field, I don't give a fuck about
my.
Japan. I don't care.
See, what I'm worried about is that I genuinely believe the person that's going to help Shido evolve and like
Don't
raise the
say it.
stakes up.
Don't say it.
I think the one that's going to help Shido raise the level of the field, it's going to be Hiyori. As much as I hate to admit
Yeah,
it, I
as
think
much
it's
as I hate it, as much as I'm like kind of hoping more so that Bachara gets involved, because I do think that like Bachara and Shido, when it comes to their ideals, obviously they're very fucking similar, same ego type. But like, if I'm actually thinking about it, Hiyori's basically the B-Tech version of Sai in Blue Lock. Like, if you want
he's the
somebody who
mover.
functions kind of like Sai, you have Hiyori. So it's probably going to be fucking Hiyori that does it, because
Yeah,
in my head, right, it kind
probably.
of makes more sense for Bachara to kind of understand this impulsive side of Shido and be able to kind of bring out the best of that performance. But then considering that Sai's this connected with Shido and Hiyori's that similar to Sai, I might be cooked, bro. I might be
Yeah,
cooked. My biggest
it's
op
like
is gonna be my biggest supporter.
I'm just mentally preparing myself for like the Hiyori fan base to like drag themselves out of the ground.
Yeah.
Because when Ubers was going, because like I first got into the Blue Lock community like way back when, I really started to get into it. Like I want to say near the like midway through the Manshine game, but I wasn't really in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Once,
Funny enough, that's like a similar situation where I started reading Blue Lock. I think it was like around about the Manshine game.
yeah, it was back in like 2021. I started reading, and that was the Manshine game. Then the Ubers game came in, and that's when I was like working at Chipotle or whatever.
Yup.
And then I had switched jobs like midway through the Ubers game, and the second Hiyori got onto the field, oh my gosh, it was the most annoying thing ever. Because not only did you have the Hiyori Glazers going on,
Yup.
I don't know if you remember, I bring this up a lot. The Isagi bicycle theories do you
That
remember
has
that during
been
the Ubers
going
game?
on for so fucking long. Where has this idea come from?
Oh,
Have you seen that one screenshot, by the way, where it's like Predator Eye X fucking Metavision and it's like Isagi winding up to do a bicycle kick? That one screenshot genuinely haunted my nightmares. I saw that everywhere. Everywhere I went that spoke about Blue Lock, it was that one fuck ass panel with Isagi and Predator Eye. And it was like, oh, he's gonna score a bicycle kick. Trust, trust.
it was so, and like the worst thing is with Isagi scoring a half volley against Nigeria, him scoring a bicycle
Mm.
kick is no longer out of the realm of impossibility. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, oh my gosh.
I mean,
I
like,
don't know if I can mentally prepare for that. If
the
he scores a bicycle kick, I don't know if I can mentally prepare for that
yeah, because the thing
if it
is, like,
happens.
I, me reading that and me seeing that, I would love that Isagi's able to pull that shit off. But as soon as I like
Mm.
turn my phone off and I realize that like that chapter's come out and like the community's starting to digest it, I know that it's going to be insufferable for like the next 2-3 months. Like
Oh
we're
my
going to
God.
have people that are going to like jump out of the woodworks and be like, I told you he was gonna score a bicycle kick. You didn't have any proof for it back then. You was just throwing shit at a
Yeah.
wall and something just so happened to stick. You didn't predict anything.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
oh, it's like it's even with Hiyori as well, right? Because like when Hiyori got subbed in, I liked Hiyori's story. I thought it was very compelling. I thought it was really fucking good. But people not being able to understand that that level of play for Hiyori wasn't his consistent level of play genuinely baffles me,
Mhm.
because you genuinely just have to think about it for a second. If Hiyori can dribble past Don Lorenzo, he can dribble past anybody else. Oh wait, do these happen
Mhm.
because I do stuff? If I like go like this,
Wait,
are the balloons gonna come up? Yes!
it's not
Wait,
working for me.
what?
Oh, oh, okay. So that's
So
what for you, that's what it is. It's not working for me. Wait, try to put your hands up and see if it like the balloons pop up. Is that
what? How do I do the
no, that's not it.
balloons? Oh fuck it, bro. I can do this one though.
I guess it only pops up. Oh
Yes.
yeah. That's so weird. Can I?
Yeah, I
Does it
don't
work
know
for
what the
me?
fuck's going on with
Doesn't
this.
look doesn't work for me.
I might have some weird ass settings active or something. I got so distracted though. Yeah,
Maybe.
Hiyori in the
We'll have
Ubers
to see
game.
what the balloons do, and
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep like fucking
yeah,
waving
we're
about and see what the
back.
balloons do. Yeah, but Hiyori in the Ubers game, I do like Hiyori. Like this is one thing that I don't want people to get twisted. Like if we're talking from like a character perspective, I like Hiyori. I like his story points. I like what he covers. I like how he evolves and everything like that. If we're talking from the power scaling side, I have never hated somebody apart from Tokimitsu, maybe Noel Noah, more than Hiyori's character. Everybody's
Yeah,
saying that he's on
I just
Sai's level, that he's on Ness's level, that he's clear of Charles,
oh,
but there's no consistent proof of that. Like,
yeah,
people
it's
took that
just
one statement that Sendao said about Hiyori in the U20 game and genuinely just fucking ran with it.
oh they just ran like because Sendo's in crazy like some crazy credible source now,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
anything he says just
the worst thing about all of this is that the people that are saying that Sendao is a reliable narrator for that part are the same people who would say that Isagi isn't when it comes to like analyzing other characters. So we're saying, right? Sendao, a not confirmed talented learner, not MC, just some random fucking side character, makes one comment about how two players have a similar playstyle, but Isagi breaking down how like a goal was scored or something like that is unreliable. Like, what the
it's
actual
just
fuck are we talking about?
I don't get it. I don't get it, to be honest. Like, but there is one last thing I had on my little list of notes here to go over, and you kind of alluded to this earlier. What do you think Ugo's playstyle is going to be?
I think I've actually made a video on this. Wait. Okay. It was kind of
I might
like,
have missed that.
no, you're good, because I'm more so talking about like I've said it before, so I don't want to come out with another new theory and people will be like, that's not what you said. Um, I think it
Yeah.
was kind of going into what Haragi was like in the second selection. You remember that fucking tarot card nigga where
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, I could see what you're
So yeah, the
capable
tarot
of.
cards.
So with when he's explaining like fortune tellers and everything, he's like, "Oh, it's all based on statistics. Like by understanding a player's like weapons, personalities, movement habits and stuff like that, you can essentially predict or explain anything, even a genius." And I did think that that was like a really fucking interesting concept to have, but obviously the way Haragi used it, he didn't really take into account people's evolutions or people striving to do more. He kind of just looked at you at your face value and was like, "Oh, that's all you can do. That's all you're ever going to be capable of." I think what Hugo's going
Yeah,
to do is he's going to obviously kind of add that next step to this. He's going to
yeah.
look at all this information of these characters, see what they're capable of, see their weapons, personality habits, blah, blah, blah. And then he's kind of going to
Mhm.
run it through his head of like, okay, if I was, let's say, Barrow in the second selection and I'm getting locked up by Kunagame and I'm losing my presence on the pitch, what would I do? And then he'd be like, all right, if I'm running up, I would probably change direction quickly to make it less predictable. I'd do a chop dribble. So then Hugo's ran this
Yeah.
simulation in his head while, like, let's say, for example, Barrow's running up to him.
Mhm.
So because he's ran that simulation through, like, that person's stats, abilities, weapons, and then he's ran the evolution through their personality, he's basically, like, preemptively adapted to somebody's evolution before it even happened.
Mhm.
And I guess that's what I kind of think his weapon's going to be like. So then that can then add an aspect of adaptation to Isagi, where it's like, okay, if you take protagonism and kind of delve more into protagonism and look through that person's weapons through their eyes, what are they going to do to kind of like get past you or something like that? That's kind of what I was thinking of
Yeah.
when it came to like Hugo's weapon. But what's your idea though? Like,
Yeah, so mine, I didn't go as deep for yours because what I think is when Loki's talking about like, oh, I need Charles to like surpass Noah Noah, I think what it was is he wanted Charles's unpredictability. Because
yeah,
I think Ugo is like kind of how what you said, like he's gonna like run all these calculations in his head and he's going to choose like the most statistically possible option. So like
yeah,
if option A has a 60% succession rate and option B has like a 40% succession rate, he's gonna go with the one that has a higher chance of like succeeding, right? And that's the complete opposite of Charles. And we see that like, oh, there's this pass that has a 99% chance of failing. Oh, I don't care. I'll shoot for that 1%.
yeah, yeah.
And
That's my
so,
goat.
yeah. And so I think that that also ties into like, and I think I was the first person, I might be wrong about this, so I don't want to claim it, but I think I was the first person to like scale or like predict Ugo's entire play style and his ego type based on him saying unsuitable. Like
Yeah. Oh my
just using
god.
that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Claim
I
that shit, bro. Claim that shit.
I think that was me. I think that was me. Um, because I had said that, oh, he's a talented learner because like the definition of unsuitable is you first have to analyze what you are looking at and then
Yep.
deem whether said behavior is optimal for that specific scenario,
Yeah.
right? So that's like a very talented learner trait to have. And so what I thought Ugo was referencing when he said unsuitable is Isagi's playstyle in general. I think Ugo already understands what protagonism is and like
Yeah.
he can differentiate between talented learners and geniuses. And I think that what Ugo was seeing was that Isagi in the Nigeria game was starting to like lean towards playing more like a genius than a talented learner. Or like he has a
Okay.
lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah. I can see that.
aspects of that game where acting like a genius.
Hmm.
And Ugo's like, yeah, that form, like that style of play is working now, but like in the future, it's unsuitable. It's not appropriate for the type of player that Isagi is. And I think Ugo is going to have a deeper understanding of what protagonism is. But I think that deeper understanding is also going to like limit him to
Yeah.
understanding even deeper what protagonism actually is. So like you have the baseline of protagonism, which Isagi learns like the differences between geniuses and talented learners.
Yeah.
And then he gets into the
Originality.
world
Yeah.
and self styles, right? So that's
Yeah.
a layer deeper. I don't think it's crazy to say that there could be another layer. I hope there's not, because then we're gonna start getting like really
Yeah.
complicated into this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you go after four categories? Do you split the categories this way and this way, and now there's like 16 different
Yeah.
categories, and
There's
like
no way.
let's calm, let's calm down now. But I think there could be another layer of protagonism and understanding different ego types that Ugo, with his way of thinking and calculating, can't necessarily understand. Because I do think that Ugo's a restrictive. I think he's going to have
Okay.
like a restrictive mindset.
Yeah, to be honest,
Because
we
I think
need a lot more restrictive talented learners. The only one we've got so far confirmed is Kaiser. Snuffy's not even technically confirmed.
yeah, I did a video predicting all of the ego types of the new Gen 11, and Kaiser's the only restrictive one that's like confirmed, obviously. Because
Yeah.
I had Bunny as a genius freedom, the same as
Yep,
Bachira.
same.
I
Yep.
had Lorenzo as a genius freedom as well. Um,
That one I'm a bit more confused about because obviously he's like he gets told to do stuff and then he just follows those rules, but at the exact same time he was homeless and didn't have any freedom, and then Snuffy gave him freedom. Like I think maybe that's just because like I think if you think too much about freedom or restrictive, you can confuse yourself very fucking quickly.
yeah,
But I can get
definitely.
behind like freedom genius for Lorenzo.
The main reason I have him as like a freedom genius is because like despite obviously like him doing what Snuffy tells him to, it seems that that Lorenzo outside of soccer has the freedom to do anything he wants. Like he interrupts Barrow, spills a bunch of caramel popcorn on the floor, and just
Yeah,
doesn't care. Now,
yeah.
like
Switches the
this
TV.
could
Oh, you're meditating? I don't give a fuck, bro. Let me watch this.
I don't care. Like that could be like, he was homeless. He doesn't like understand, like he can't read the room. But you'd think that like Snuffy would reprimand him for doing stuff like that. But
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to. It seems that Snuffy's giving him the freedom off the field to act however he wants. And even within the Ubers game, at least for me, when Ubers is on a counterattack, it's explained that they use Lorenzo's ideals in his imagination and become his limbs. To me,
Oh
he just
shit.
seems to be the midfielder version of what Borrow is because we've talked about this. Ubers as like if you're playing as a striker on Ubers, you're in a freedom environment if
Yeah,
you're the striker on
absolutely.
Ubers. Lorenzo's given that exact same role that Borrow is. Like
Yeah,
he's
true.
he's given the freedom to do whatever he wants, but like before he passes it off to Borrow on that counterattack. And I also think that like on the defensive side, Lorenzo's given a lot of freedom as well because like when Aiku pressures Isagi and he has to pass to Yukimiya, Lorenzo getting off Kaiser to intercept the pass to Yukimiya, I feel like that's something Snuffy wouldn't want him to do. I don't see Yukimiya as a threat at that point
Yeah,
to
no, I
like
can kind of
help be.
hear that.
So it's like, why did he get off Kaiser to go man mark Yukimiya? I feel like he wouldn't do that unless like Snuffy gives him leeway or like the freedom to kind of do whatever. Or not whatever,
Yeah,
but like
that's
he
actually
has
a
options.
really good fucking point. Because, like, just speaking from, like, a strategic standpoint, it would make the most sense to just have Lorenzo cancel out Kaiser the entire fucking time.
Yeah, the
Like,
entire
y-
game. So like
yeah,
confuses me a little bit. So like that's why I think he's like a genius freedom because I think he's a genius just because like it's literally said that his body looks like it's split in two the way he
yep,
dribbles. Like
yep.
his upper half and his lower half are literally disconnected. Like that's a genius trait to have. So, and then I think I had Sai was a talented learner, freedom. I think I had
Yep.
Loki as a genius restrictive.
Yep. I mean, to be
That was
honest,
it.
I think I
I don't
think
think so.
my theories about Loki's ego are kind of changing because I'm kind of, well, maybe it's coming from like a bias of me looking for this weakness of what he has, but I think that Loki's actually more of a freedom type. And that kind of
Actually, oh
plays
no, yeah,
into,
I did
yeah, it
say that
plays into
he was
his
a freedom
weapon,
because
it plays into kind of like all this like his story points so far, and
mhm.
it kind of makes, fuck, I had like a better example for this and I've just completely blanked it. But it makes the most sense, especially about what he said about the whole fucking, oh, they're just small fries with topicality while he's got fired up eyes. It makes the most sense for him to be freedom because so far that's all he's experienced is like me being able to do whatever the fuck I want on the field and nobody can keep up with me. And that's been able to project his career all the way up to fucking Noah's level. And then what he
Mhm,
says to Nagi about once you learn fear, it'll destroy you. I think that's kind of
mhm.
him talking about once I learn restricted parts of myself or once I become restricted, I'm done. Like there's nothing I can fucking do at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
It
like
definitely ties into like his weapon. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, because I do think that Loki's been running away from an issue. I think that makes the most sense for his
100.
character to have like some big fucking thing that happened in his backstory, and then instead of confronting whatever it is, he just dives into football and then just starts having an insane career so he doesn't have to think about it. And then the moment that
Mhm.
Isagi
Yeah,
or somebody reminds him either what happened in that scenario when he was younger or reminds him that his weakness is that he is just fast, that's then going to be like, it's going to be like, kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back. Either they say a specific word that makes him go into that flashback or he's in the same environment. But either way, he's going to kind of have like that flashback into that horrible moment and it's going to start the downfall of his character.
yeah. Because I was the restrictiveness or like the freedom, I should say, it does tie into his weapon. Because like I did make when I was making my my new Gen 11 ego types video, I said that when they first see Loki, Isagi says that he takes wide strides when he dribbles.
Yep.
So he essentially needs like free space on the field to complete these dribbles, right? It's either because like in the PXG game it looks a little different. In the World 5 game, he's going like very wide. He's cutting out and then out and then out. Within the PXG game, it looks like his cuts are a little more in, but they're like longer. So he's like doing a
Yeah.
long stride, then a cut into a long stride, right? And then you can also make the argument that if he doesn't have the space within the box, the goal box, he doesn't save the Kaiser impact. He doesn't call it slow. He had all that free space to build up speed to reach it in time. If someone's in his way,
He's
I don't
not
think
getting
he's
there.
reaching it. I don't think he needs freedom on the pitch to do what he needs to do. So I think if you can clog him up, he won't like obviously he can still trap. He can still I'm sure he can still dribble. I'm sure he can still pass. He can do all those things. But without his speed and he doesn't have the freedom of the field and you can clog his running lanes, how good does he really become at that point?
Stay with me. Corona upscale. Corona can take turns fast.
Yeah.
That's Loki's
I'm
weakness. Hell
dude,
yes.
whenever it has to do with Corona, I'm all ears. I
Yeah,
don't care
I'm
what it
there.
is. I'm all
I'm there. That's my
ears.
boy. Because
I'm
that
there.
that would make a lot of sense, right? Like the biggest weakness for somebody who takes long strides would be somebody who can take turns very quickly. So
Mhm.
if for example you have like Iski's trying to build a play up and he's passing the ball off to Corona, because Corona's kind of dribbling more like this, Loki can't build the speed up to go like boom to boom to boom because Corona's doing it a lot quicker. So
Mhm.
then that can be the way that Corona becomes useful offensively because Loki can't steal the ball from him.
Mhm.
They're both speedsters, so obviously they're both in the same category. Loki can't just fucking perception blitz him. And because
Yeah.
the weapon that Corona has is fundamentally the opposite or the weakness of Loki's,
Mhm.
Corona upscale.
Maybe.
Corona
Listen,
upscale.
I'm all if Corona gets feats against Loki, you guys aren't hearing the end of it.
Yeah,
Like
I am
I've
I am
already
never letting Kiori into that conversation ever again.
I've already made two videos over analyzing two plays from Corona.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it again.
Dude, that
If
one where
Corona
you broke down how far he ran, I genuinely didn't even think that that's how far he had to fucking run for that goal formula. I just thought he was like, oh yeah, he just like dips behind him and then just kind of running behind him like that. But he really
no,
fucking doesn't.
he ran insane distance to keep up with Isagi. Like it's like in the Manshine game, it's absurd. And then it's the same in the Nigeria game. He had to do more in the Nigeria game to save
The
that
fact
ball
that he
from going in the
cleared
goal.
that ball, what? That's my
Like,
goat.
oh, it's like because like I remember because me you and Arrow were on live talking about it. Like
Yeah,
how did Corona get all the way over there if he's playing on the right in the right back position? Why is he in the left center back position? I go into work the next day. I'm sitting there like holding a stop sign because we were moving concrete around, right?
yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, how did Corona get over there? And I'm running through the
Little
how it all
simulations
happened in
in
my
your
head.
head, yeah.
I was running the simulation. I was like, okay, Corona starts as a right wing back. He moves up to pressure Onazi because Onazi, he had to lay the ball off to Kuso, who's on like
Mm-hmm.
the right side of the field, and Kuso passed it forwards. But why are Raichi and Corona there? And where's Isagi? Because that's where Isagi starts. Oh, maybe Ego has a system where anything in the middle, Raichi goes after. So Isagi drops back to fill in for Raichi. And since Corona is like a speedster, he can get around. They double team him, and having Ryu as a wing back with his like new judo stance, he's
The
good
fucking
enough to
domain
keep up with
expansion.
his little domain expansion. He's good enough to keep up with speedy players. Onazi's no slouch when it comes to speed, and he was able to keep up with him. But okay, but why wouldn't Corona just go back? Wait a second. Isagi gets the ball. Blue Lock is in their no top system. There's no point in him going back anymore. He has to go forwards and replace Raichi, right? So he goes forwards, but now he has to come back. He has to fill in Raichi's spot again because
Mm-hmm.
Raichi's too busy dealing with Kuso along with Karasu and Rayo. So where does he go back now? Well, he's back in the center defensive mid position. Kuso crosses it. Isagi comes in to help Aiku. The only spot Corona can go to is replacing Isagi as a left center back and coming in across the middle of
Mm-hmm.
the goal to save it.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
Mm-hmm.
sense why he ended up where
My
he ended
goat
up.
had the logic behind.
It took me like I was simulating different. I want to. I was doing it for an hour, like in my
Oh
head.
yeah,
I was
no,
trying to
this
simulate
this
how he got.
fucking like I just want to take a pause to like the viewers and shit that are watching stuff like this. Theorizing like sometimes can genuinely be fucking torturous because you're just sat there in a chair
It
running
is.
simulation after simulation after simulation, trying to figure out how the fuck we got to where we're at.
And I was doing all this like, and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn like, oh, look at me, I was
Ah,
doing all
toot
this while I
that
was
horn, bro,
distracted.
toot that horn.
I was I was holding a stop sign because what we're doing is we were taking out concrete in a parking garage, bringing it through the parking garage and out into a dumpster. So I'm holding this stop sign and I'm trying to direct traffic in an emergency parking garage. So I'm making sure like cars go at this specific time and
Yep.
make sure they don't hit the other thing. So like I'm having to do all this while I'm theorizing and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at. I have to pause to pay attention.
Yeah, you do. You,
Okay.
you hit
All
the mental fucking pause button. You're like, hold on, hold on. Everybody
take
stay
a
where you are. Everyone stay where you are. I'll come back in 2 seconds.
yeah, like just hold on. And so I'm do and then once I figured it out, I'm like, wait a second. Let me go back and retrace my
Yeah.
steps just to make sure this. actually makes sense because the first time I figured it out, I was like, wait, that makes sense. Let me go back and redo it.
Yeah.
No, because no, that's not right. So then how did this happen? I got it a second time. I was like, let's go back and do it.
Hmm.
No, that's not right because this has to happen. I go back a third time. The third time I get it right, I double check it again. I'm like, oh my God, I figured it out. Because
Cinema.
that's like
You're
right
sat.
when
You're
I
sat there
like
holding the sign. You're like, oh my god, it makes sense.
yeah, it makes because I think I was I don't know if I DM'd you on TikTok. It might have been Arrow Assassin because Arrow was more like he was more pushing um the whole thing. Like he was like the one that I really want to figure this out. I had DM'd Arrow when I went on break. I was like, dude, I just fucking figured this. Corona like completed the greatest speed feat in the entire series so far. I was like spamming Arrow. I don't think he ever replied to me. I don't think he replied. I might have DM'd you on TikTok. I might have. I don't really remember just because like Arrow was the one that like really pushed it forward. So I remember he was the
Yeah.
one I was talking about the most. So I figured it out. I've got to go like text Arrow. Like I've got to message Arrow. Like I figured
Before
it
I
all
forget,
out.
before it
And
goes.
yeah, before it like completely leaves my mind. Like and yeah, it was that was probably like one of the happiest moments of my blue lock career when I figured out how Corona did that speed feat. That I was
Mhm.
extremely
Yeah, the
happy that I
rush
was able.
of when you figure out when something happens, and then the second rush when you go and check your answer and it's actually fucking right.
It's actually
Oh
right.
my god, I
Yes.
live for that shit. I'll be
Es-
stood like at my workplace. I'll be serving customers and I'll be running these simulations at the back of my head. And sometimes I'll like pass over whatever they bought and I'll be like, that makes so much fucking sense. And this lady's looking at me being like, what the actual fuck are you talking about? I have to be like, oh, I was talking to someone before and it's just because like I can't sit there and
Mhm.
explain that what I was thinking about is like fucking. I didn't even put my thumb up that
Oh,
time.
there it goes.
But I can't sit there and explain the entire lore to this lady of Blue Lock to explain how me figuring
I
out this theory is
do that.
insane.
Mm-hmm.
But that rush,
Because
I
yeah,
live for that
that's how
rush.
with like the whole God theory, like how why I think like Japan's gonna lose to Germany and like with
Yeah.
the whole Michael stuff. I wasn't
Yeah.
really sure. Okay, Isagi being the Demon King, that's Lucifer, obviously.
Obviously.
Kaiser is God's chosen emperor. He's Saint Michael, like the archangel
Literally.
defender.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
That makes sense. Nagi being the one that like calls himself God the most or is called God the most by other characters. Like that all makes sense, but there has to be something else in there to like actually push it forward. When I looked up like Ness's name, like if you look up, I think it's Alexis, right?
Yeah.
Within like meaning in Greek is like defender slash protector. There is
Hmm.
literally an archangel that is made like their whole purpose is to like be a protector and like a helper or
Yeah.
whatever. And when I noticed that, I was like, hold on.
It's
There's
all
going
coming
if
together.
there's a German player that's name means messenger, because I think that's like Raphael's the messenger of all
Yeah.
of the archangels. There's Gabriel who's like the defend or like the healer or the defender or whatever. If there's a German player that name means messenger,
It's all
it
come
might be
together.
over.
It's all come together.
Might be a
You know what? I felt that exact same way when I was thinking about like the whole seven deadly sins thing, right? Because everyone likes to fucking throw seven deadly sins in any fandom, and
yeah.
obviously you've got the obvious ones like Shido for lust and like Barrow for you've got like Shido for lust. You've got like fucking Rin,
I would
Barrow,
have like
Chigiri, whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I've already forgotten what the
Isagi's
fucking seven deadly sins are.
or whatever.
Yeah,
But
but I was
I've seen a lot of people
the one
I
thing that
disagree.
made like my theory click in my head is that you know that one fucking chapter where we see like the people's special training and we kind of dive into it a little bit more. You see
Yeah.
seven people specifically who we kind of get more info of like what their special training is. It's Rin, Shido, Chigire, Kunagame, Rayo, and fuck, who's the last one?
Borrow
Yeah, and Barrow, yeah. And I was basically like,
the
to me at least, that confirms that the people who I said are the seven deadly sins are the seven deadly sins. Because there's seven of them that make like a prominent appearance in that chapter, and each one of those characters kind of does fit one of the archetypes of the sins. You've obviously got Barrow for pride, you've got Rin for wrath, Shido for lust. I personally think it's very obvious that Chigiri would be greed because he seems like he's being greedy, being injured in this football,
Yeah.
like in being injured in this sport and then still going back to be world class. Kunigami was
Yeah.
gluttony because it was like in his light novel, he has a fight with someone who's like bullying his older sister or something, and then he eventually
Mhm.
like loses that love for battle, but I think that's what Ego's trying to bring back in him now with the whole wild card. And then you've got booking Reo, who I would say is basically the same as Nagi. Like if you're talking about one, you're talking about both.
I think yeah,
Reo,
they're
I
both
said
envy. I think,
yeah, no, I said that Reo was sloth because one, you've got the comparison of I think it's in Greek mythology, you've got sleep
oh,
and
that
you've
the
got death being like related. And
yeah,
then
okay.
you've also kind of got Reo, who kind of is quite stagnant when it comes to actually changing himself. Because obviously,
Mhm.
in the second selection, he gets dumped by Nagi, instantly doesn't try to do anything. Has to wait until he
Yeah,
gets
that's
claimed by
mhm,
Shido to actually start evolving. You then have
mhm,
the game against Barcha, where again, he doesn't change anything until Chris literally fucking forces him to shoot. And then you've got this
mhm.
version of him in the World Cup now, where it's like his main issue is kind of what's happened with Nagi and the fact that they're not really talking to each other anymore. But instead of taking action and actually messaging him or unblocking him or whatever the fuck he did with Nagi, he just thinks, oh, I'll just
Yeah.
dive into work instead. He never actually takes action to solve his problems. He just goes and does something fucking else. And then there was the last
Mhm.
sin, which this is the one that I'm blanking on now.
Bachara should be envy, I think, right?
Yeah,
Bachara's
Bachara
envy.
was envy because all the shit that happened in the second selection about him being jealous that
Mhm.
Isagi's not focused on him anymore. And then also the fact of Bachara's the one to eliminate Kira, a person who relied on their team, who stated that they relied on their team. And he's also the
Mhm.
person who eliminates Nagi, a person who started to rely consistently on Reo. So I saw those 7 people in that 7 special fucking training thing, and I was like, in my head, that's it, confirmed. That's it. That's all I need. That's all the evidence. So
Yeah,
that
I mean, it does work for like a lot of characters. I think the only one I'm kind of stuck on is Kunigami being gluttony. I think if we get a little bit more, because I think my like mini prediction for the wild card, I don't have enough to make like a video on it. I
Mhm.
do believe that Ego's entire philosophy for the wild card was gluttony. Like I think the only
Yes.
way you survive the wild card is you have to devour the people around you, even if you like, even if you're sick and tired of it. Like if you're like metaphorically full, you have to keep going. Like
Yep.
you cannot leave this place and you cannot go back to the real world until you have literally eaten
Consumed
everything and
everything in there.
everyone. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
everything in
that's
the wild
fire.
card.
That's actually so fucking fire. Because I do think the whole purpose of the wild card would be about gluttony. It makes the most sense for it to be about hunger and about you striving harder to do the stuff you set out to do. Because then it also plays into like why it exists in the first place, right? Like it's a losers bracket because the losers aren't as hungry as the people who did survive. So we take all the
Mhm.
losers, we put them in this bracket where whoever's the hungriest, you get to go back. Like you clearly shown
Yeah.
that you've got the dedication, the hunger, the gluttony to actually exist in Blue Lock. You was just unlucky in that situation.
Yo, that's actually insane. I'm surprised
Right,
you came up with that.
bro. Right.
That's
Holy
crazy.
fucking
Now
cock.
I'm sitting down and thinking about it. I'm like, dude, this Marble Frog is a fucking genius. This guy's a genius, bro. Like, holy shit.
Thank you.
Damn,
Thank you. No, I will say
bro.
though, like a lot of
Don't
my
make me
theories kind of just come from
crazy.
like me talking and chapping it up with other people. Like, I don't know if you saw it, but I had
Mhm.
one video where I was talking about like alpha males and leaders. That came from me talking about fucking wolves and like the wolf social hierarchy. And it's
No,
like
I
I
don't
got
think
a
I saw
10
that
minute
one.
yap out of that. Wait,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what did you say before that?
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think I saw that video. I don't think I saw the alpha male
Yeah,
one.
actually, I'll send you that one because I do want to hear your opinion because it
Mhm.
sounds like the most fucking black pilled video I've ever
Oh God.
made. But I promise you, if you look past the whole alpha male and like leader of the fucking friend group shit, it kind of makes a lot of sense. And obviously, I had a load of
Mhm.
people in the comments being like, "Are we serious? Are we serious?" And I'm like, guys, I don't know if we're joking or if we're being serious at this point because I understand this is an insane video to post. So I would appreciate some feedback on that one. But
Yeah.
like, this is kind of going to be the last thing that I say before we can close out for the podcast. Is
Mhm.
I would like actually no, I'll ask a question so we can both do it. What ego type
Okay.
would you define yourself as? Like if you was in Blue Lock, what would you be? Freedom, restricted, talented learner, genius.
I would be based off how I played in high school. I would be a freedom genius.
Okay. Okay, okay.
A freedom
And
genius.
how would you say,
Like I,
okay, and
hmm,
like ego
what were you
type
saying?
wise, like going through IRL life, what would you say it's different between like your football ego and your like normal person day-to-day ego? Or is it just like you constantly feel like you are a freedom genius?
I think I constantly feel like a freedom genius. Yeah. I
Okay.
don't I think like I think I am very flexible. Like when stuff pops up, I can kind of just adapt to it. Like I don't
Hmm.
feel like I'm ever I definitely don't do better when I'm on like any sort of restriction. If I'm on like a time restriction or something, I hate when I'm on a restriction. I cannot do it.
It's
Like it
literally the
just
worst feeling in the world.
yeah,
That one
it's
deadline,
not
and it's
I'm
like,
not
oh,
and
you've got
I'm
like
not
two
smart
weeks to
enough
do
to
it, and you still don't want to do it.
I'm not smart enough to be a talented learner. Though, like, for some reason, when I first started getting back into soccer and playing at like a local place, I
Hmm.
started thinking like a talented learner. Cause like, usually I was like, dang, this kind of reminds me of Blue Lock. I wonder
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what because like I had never thought about it before. I was like, you know, now that I'm playing soccer, what ego type would I be?
Hmm.
And for some reason, I immediately went to talented learner. So what I would try to do is like when I was playing on the defensive, and this is gonna sound like really nerdy and really geeky. Like I'm
I'm
gonna be
here
like a
for it, bro.
total
I'm
loser.
here for it, cause I'd be
I'm gonna be a
autistic as
total
shit
loser.
about Blue Lock.
uh, a total loser when I say this. I
Nah, you
tried
got
to
it.
imagine myself having metavision, like a total loser.
Hear me out. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. The moment you learn what metavision is in football and you actually try and apply it to football, I feel like that shit actually works. Like I have never had so much like vision
It
and clear space in my life than when I understood what metavision was.
it worked a little bit. Like so there would be instances where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like constantly turn my head and like look, which I, you know, that's what you should be doing that in soccer anyway. You should be like turning your
Hmm.
head and looking all over the place, right? When I would try to like actually analyze the people I was going against, there were instances where I completely caught people off guard and like stole the ball from them or intercepted a pass. But I did it so well that I wasn't used to it and I would just kick the ball way too far. And
Yeah, it's
like,
like
oh,
you read it right, but
I
your
had,
reaction wasn't perfect.
yeah, I had it and then I lost it. And I was like, I don't think I'm a talented learner. I don't think I have like I don't think I can use my brain like a talented learner would do. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pace abuse. I'm gonna be a genius. I'm gonna
Yeah,
use
yeah.
my speed and
Fuck it, bro.
it worked. Me just running up the field and listen, I'm not a dribbler. I'm not really that good of a shooter. All I can do is I'm fast and I have a
Hmm.
lot of stamina. And
Hmm.
I pace abuse.
Hmm.
I
You
have
gotta
no
do what you
problems
gotta do.
admitting you call me I'm literally Zontetsu. It works. It worked.
I like that. I fuck with that. I fuck with that so much. Because one thing that I was thinking about when I was thinking about like ego types and how it applies to IRL is my experience with ego types is that when it comes to Blue Lock, I think I am a talented learner. Like my videos and how I exist like in the community, I'm very much like talented learner coded. But I think if you
Mhm.
ever met me in real life, you'd be like instantly that motherfucker's a genius because it's like I think it I'm not gonna lie, I think it's just because I'm autistic for some fucking reason. How I think about and how I understand information in real life
Mhm.
is so fucking abstract to other people, and I apparently just come out with these random fucking bullshit answers. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But I think like if I was to judge myself and like see which ego type I was, I think I would 1,000% be freedom. I do not work whatsoever in restricted. Like, I think this is the reason why I'm flopping with this Yuki Miya video because people expect it now. But
Yeah.
if it was in terms of like genius and talented learner, oh, there we go. If it was in terms of genius and
Yeah,
talented learner,
goes.
I think it would kind of vary on the thing that you're doing at the time. Because like, in Blue Lock, more information is just objectively better for me. It doesn't matter if it's about like if it doesn't
Definitely.
matter who it comes from. If it's shippers telling me information about this character, if it's power scalers telling me information about this character, it's all information at the end of the day. It's going to help me come to well, not
Hmm.
come to terms with. It's going to help me develop some sort of theory. But when it's like
Hmm.
IRL, I feel like I very much am just a genius. Because even like I'm not
And
gonna glaze. I'm not gonna glaze. But I'm pretty fast and I can jump pretty fucking high. And I feel like that already would categorize me as a genius.
Hmm. Yeah, we seem to be the same. I used to be able to jump high. I can't jump high anymore. I used to be able to dunk like pretty easily. I can't. I don't think
Okay,
I can't dunk
okay.
anymore.
Big step of
Yeah,
Luke.
I used to. Yeah, but that was when I had good knees, and I know
I'm
saying that
feeling
is
that.
like
I'm feeling that.
because I'm still in my early 20s. So like if there happen to be any like older people watching and they're like, "Oh, you're still in your 20s, you have good knees," like ugh, not they're not as good as you think they are. Not
Mine are
anymore.
cooked.
Not anymore.
Yeah, mine are cooked. I think partially though, the reason why my legs are kind of fucked is because I just didn't do stretches properly when I was a kid. I was so excited to play football when it was like warm-ups and stuff. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, give me the ball, let me start playing.
I was that way a little bit. Once I got to high school, I took stretches seriously, but like middle school and before then, no, fuck stretches. I want to go out and play.
Yeah, but I
But
think I think that's it. I think that's the first podcast of the series.
of
Obviously,
2020.
we're
Oh,
gonna try and do this as a weekly thing. If you're free, if you're not, it's calm. Um,
I'm free every day, sure. Like
oh
if you want to
fuck
do
yeah,
this.
yeah. No, we can make this a weekly thing as well. We can obviously get guests and shit in. Hopefully, we can have like Novocaine on here soon. Or the rival
Yeah,
might
man.
as well. But
Mhm.
2026 is gonna be a big year. We're starting new content. You know, I will fucking beat
Yes.
you this time. I'm gonna catch up, motherfucker. You stay at
We'll
10k
see.
or 11k or whatever the fuck you're at. I'm coming
We'll
for
see.
your
We'll
ass.
see. Hey, all I'm saying is, I'm just gonna say the gap's gotten wider.
Hey,
The gap's gotten
shut
wider.
up! Shut up, bro! Shut up! Dude, I don't know what the fuck has been happening recently, but I've been uploading and my videos, it'll take like fucking a
Yeah,
day to get 1,000 views. I have no
yeah. I
idea
don't
what's going on.
know what's going on. I mean,
Like,
I will say right after I got 10K, I got a huge boost in views and shit. Cause like I
okay.
was I was like, wait a second. I got 10K. Literally 5 days later, I'm at 10.5K. I'm like, what's going on? I never get this much traction. It's
Oh,
slowed. It has slowed down. I'm like, okay, this is kind of more what I expected. So I'm at 10.8 right now.
damn,
I was like, okay,
you're gonna clear my ass soon. That's so scary.
because I like my goal is to get 10 like get to 20K by the end of the year. Because
Okay,
like
good.
I started the year off. I want to say I at like 4K when I started? Because I had reached 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10K all in 2025. I want to say I started off probably around 4K. But yeah, the
You got it, bro. You got it. Oh,
oh
this is the thing. I used to be like the most avid 6-7 hater, but now it's gotten to the point of where it's like I want to use everything I can to make as many jokes as I can about it because it's that annoying. But you were saying, bro, like you went
yeah,
from 4K, you're at 10K now. Actually, fucking huge progress. Like we applaud
yeah.
that
No,
shit.
you. This is the thing. When I first discovered you in December of 2024. That's when like that was the first
Oh
video I ever
damn, you
saw
was
from you.
like
I
at
think
the
December.
start then, because I only started towards like the end of November.
I Yeah, I found your account really early when you had like 100, 200 followers.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I fuck with this guy. I'm gonna follow him. He's really cool. Then I started to see you get really popular. I was like, damn, he's gonna surpass because like I was it was like when you had reached like 3 or 4K and you were like only 1,000 behind me. I was like,
Yep.
he caught up really fast. I checked like 2 weeks later, you're only 500 behind me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This guy is growing like crazy. Then like you passed me for a while. You had reached 9K when I was only at like 7.5K.
Yeah,
So
no,
you were
I've
like
been at this 9K for a while.
at 9K for I was like, dang, he's just gonna take because like even though it wasn't official, I was like I was thinking to myself, I want this guy to be my rival. I want to catch up to him.
Yes, yes! Let's
I
go!
was
Let's go!
this was like all the way back in like in May and June and like all the way from like I want to say it probably started around April. I was like, this guy, I like he's my motivation now. Like
Hmm.
I don't want him to beat me and to catch up to him. This was going on ever since like April and May. And then you started to bring it up and you called me out and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm glad we can make this official now, this like
Yep,
friendly
yep,
rivalry.
yep,
But
yep.
the goal is 20K this year at least.
Okay,
We're on the road to
huge.
15 right now. We'll see what
Okay,
happens.
huge.
Start a probably gonna start uploading YouTube videos. I won't be that consistent. I'll probably only upload like one video a month
Hmm.
or something
It's
like
it's a
that.
start though. We
But
like where
yeah,
people have got to
it's a start.
understand we are still very new to this whole like content creator shit. I would say at
We
least
are yeah,
like I have not been
totally.
doing this for that long. I've tried like a couple of times like over the years when I was younger, but I've never tried as much as I am now.
Yeah, my content creation before I started doing Blue Lock was see a video, write down a script, screen record the script, get a clip from like YouTube and then blur it and then put the voice over the blur and just add pictures. Really simple basic content creation, like not even nothing crazy.
Hey,
And
but
then
hey, it's
also
a
for
start.
yeah, it was
It's
a
a
start. Like
start.
if you want to go back, if you want to go way far back in 2022, 2023,
Hmm.
my content was like it was before, screen record or yeah, write a script, screen record. I didn't know how to record videos on my phone and then upload those YouTube videos or clips onto CapCut. I just use pictures. It was just pictures. That's what it was. Like that
Yeah,
was my content creation.
yeah. This like
Voiceover with pictures.
yeah, this whole fucking like content creation stuff has genuinely just been me like throwing shit at a wall and then something eventually sticks. Cause like my
Yep.
first
That's
TikTok, the lighting was dog shit. I don't even think I explained my point that much.
mhm,
I didn't fuck the whole like articulation and everything. It was ass. But that first
mhm.
fucking video to this day might still be my most important. Cause
Yeah, my
that was a first attempt at a goal, bro. That was me hitting the post.
yeah, I would say my most important video outside of like I think the first video I ever did was like a Gyotaro versus Tengen video for like
Okay, yeah.
Demon Slayer when I was doing Power Stone. That video and then the one video I made reacting to three Blue Lock hot takes that like got me more traction than what I usually got on average. If it wasn't for those two videos, I probably wouldn't be doing this shit. Like
It's
obviously
I'm
I'd probably
glad to
still
have you here, bro, because you're much needed in this fucking
yeah,
fan base. We need some
yeah.
actual IRL ball knowledge.
Dude, it feels so weird because like when I was on that game show like a month back or so,
Yeah.
and like air like they had people like Onyx and Ace and Crocodile, I was like, dude, I watch these people. Like
Right.
these people are
Right.
the reason I make Blue Lock like I watched Aero Assassin when he was comparing when he was taking Blue Lock players and giving them like real life play styles. I watched that series. I
Hmm.
watched Raven Geeks do all of his stuff. I watched Crocodile. I watched Ace Lock. I watched Animasu. I watched all these people and being in like a live stream and in a group call with these, it was so surreal to
It's
be like
actually insane.
in that group.
It's even more surreal when they're like, "What's your opinion?" And I'm like, "You want my opinion?" Like I remember way back in the day, I was a random fucking viewer, bro. But you want to hear what I think about this?
I
What?
like, dude, like when I outside of that first Blue Lock hot take video I did, whenever I made videos about Blue Lock, they were only getting like 400, 500 views, 30, 40 likes. I was like, okay, yeah, like this is fine. Like I don't care how many views my video gets as long as people are watching it and they're commenting on it and like
Yeah.
they're interested about it. It's like that's fine. I don't expect these people to like actually like outside the
Care,
people who are
yeah, like
commenting and
care
watching.
about me uploading or
Like
my opinion and stuff.
yeah, in the grand scheme of things, they're not going to go around saying, "Oh, Loop said this," and I think this was right. But now there are like people DM me what they think about certain
Mm-hmm.
players and what's
They
going to
tag you
happen.
in videos.
I,
What's your opinion on this? Thoughts?
I've
Yes! Yes!
like there was one video where I think it was someone had said, "Oh, it was like the whole Air Assassin anime Greenlee thing." They were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, whose side are you on?" Or there was another video
Yes!
where it was
I
like,
saw people in the comments where it's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm on at Marble Frog side. I don't give a fuck, I only care about uncloop. And I'm like, nigga, we made it.
like
Nigga, we actually fucking made it.
there are people out there who genuinely believe that like out of all the Blue Lock content creators that you and me are like
Yeah.
the best. Like there are
Like,
people who genuinely believe that. It's insane.
and
Like
it all started,
I
and like we was in their positions, right? We was in like the, oh, I'm just a viewer, I have my favorite content creator. And now we're one of them.
yeah. Like when I went through that video, I was like scrolling through the comments. I didn't there weren't a lot. There was only like how many comments were there? Probably like maybe 100, comments. But I just started scrolling through and I would see like I saw one person. I was like, "Oh, I don't it doesn't matter. Like Loop clears both of them." And I was like,
Yes! That was the comment I saw.
I had to set my phone down. I had just had to think. I was like, someone out there knows all these people, and out of all the content creators that they know, they think I'm the one. And then like I was
Mm-hmm.
seeing comments from you too. I was like, there was one, I can't remember his name. It might have been Gen Fukaku, the guy who loves Gen Fukaku.
Yeah, no,
I
I
think,
fuck with that guy. He's so funny.
yeah, he's funny, bro. I think his comment on that video was you were the best. He was like, "Oh, I'm on Marble Frog side," or I think Marble Frog just clears. And I was like, "Holy I'm even though I'm not as popular as these people, I'm in these conversations now. It
Oh,
feels
high key, I
so
see you as equal to my level. Like, if anything, I would kind of say that
I
you're above. Well, obviously you're above me now, but like, I still think that like the community kind of knows who you are more than they know who I am. Because obviously you've been a lot more consistent and like you've appeared more. Because I think it was last
Mhm.
year I only uploaded like one video a day, and although that is good, although obviously it's like a 10-minute long video, one video is one
Yeah.
video. It's still one chance to be seen on the timeline. I would look at
Mhm.
your channel and you'd upload like three, maybe four some days. Some days you might skip it, but obviously like, you just had way more and a lot more fucking consistent. And I was like, damn, seeing him now in the comments being like, Uncloop clears, my boy actually made it. Like, all this hard work I've been seeing my boy grind and doing, it's actually paid off.
Bro,
And
it's
that's my rival.
great. It's genuine. It doesn't feel real. Like it really doesn't because
No, it doesn't.
not even not even a year ago, like when I was at like 3K,
Mm-hmm.
sure, 3,000 is a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But that's not big enough for people to start mentioning you in comment sections when it comes to comparing content creators. So not
No.
even a year ago, I'm in these people's shoes. I'm the people saying, typing da 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 clears or da 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 is better than this person or whatever. And now I'm one of those people being brought
You're
up in the
in the
conversations. It's
talks,
just
bro. You're
like
in the talks. I think
it's
one of the things that made it like made me realize at least that I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually a content creator that gets perceived by people. It was you saw it recently. It was that like fucking video that's showing like all the characters and everything. I commented was that Shido. When I first went to that video, it was all like Japanese comments, right? There was not a single fucking English person in there. I think I made
mhm.
that comment, I liked it, and I sent it to Novakin and Maddie because I was like, I knew that they would like it objectively. And then I come back the next day. My comment has got 400 fucking likes, and half of the comments now are just a bunch of English niggas. And I'm like, Wow, I actually brought people along with me to watch this
Emotion.
thing. Like what the
Emotion.
fuck?
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
think I did see that video because I think I replied to your comment with
yeah, it
like
was like
Corona
Corona
mention
mentioned.
because I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's that one.
yeah, yeah, I saw that video. I saw that one.
But
Yeah,
again, like
it's
it's genuinely because sometimes I will admit as well that I do forget that I am a content creator. Like some days I'll wake up, I'll go about my life and everything. It'll get to about 4 o'clock, and I'm like, wait, I didn't upload today. And I'm like, oh shit, people are
yeah,
asking where I'm at or stuff like that. Or I think it was
yeah.
last year when I went to Amsterdam. I just didn't
Mhm.
upload for like a solid week. I had people concerned that I was dead. Like, and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, people actually care about like my content and stuff like that. I just thought I was another viewer like y'all. But
Mhm.
it's genuinely surreal. It's being in this situation now where it's like people are asking me, "Oh, open up a Discord, make YouTube videos, start a podcast, do this, do that." And it's like people want me to do that. Insane, because we
One,
wouldn't be
they
sat here
want
right now. Yeah, like
yeah,
you
they
want
want you
me?
to do that. Like insane. Because I was given a private DM like I want to say a month ago. This
Mm-hmm.
person had asked me, like, they took time out of their day to click on my account,
Mm-hmm.
private message me, and say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, are you ever thinking of making a Discord server and starting a YouTube channel?" And I was like, I had to be honest with them. I was like, I do have a YouTube channel, but I'm not active on it, and I'm kind of like still figuring all that out.
Mm-hmm.
For Discord, I don't know how to run a Discord server. So like
High
Discord was
key,
not an
high
option as
key. If we're gonna
a
have like podcasts and
person.
shit in here, you can just use this one if you want. Obviously, that depends on how much you want to like have yourself as a brand and shit. But if you want to use this one as like a placeholder for now, feel fucking free, bro.
Yeah, I can do that. And then because like when he asked me that, I was like, this person took time out of their day because they want me to like
Mm-hmm.
they clearly enjoy my content enough for me to make a YouTube channel and make a Discord. And when I told them that, they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. If you ever need help, I'm a Discord, like I've worked in Discord servers. I've been a moderator."
Was
And I
it
was
was it
like,
a guy with a Superman profile picture?
it might have been, I think I have the conversation starred on TikTok. I could probably go look it up later.
Cause
But
I've had like a really similar DM. I was just thinking, is that the same person? Cause if it is, that person
it,
genuinely goated for being like, I like your content, do more, please. Cause I don't know how
yeah,
you take stuff like that, but for me, when people are like, oh, you should have a YouTube, you should have a Discord, it actually kind of pushes me to be like, think about it a lot more and be like, all right, yeah, let me kind of internalize doing all of this shit. So,
yeah, for me,
what?
I don't think I'm that pushy on it. Because Discord right now for me, like I knew Discord was not an option for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could not run a Discord server. I don't know where to start with a Discord server. YouTube was up and down because I've uploaded videos on YouTube before. I kind of
Yeah.
know how the algorithm works a little bit, so I'm more open to doing YouTube, which is why I think I'm going to try to post like once a month. I think the first
Okay.
video I'm going to do might be ranking all the new Gen 11s. I think that's like a good video. Like I could make a 10-minute
Yeah,
long
it's
video
like,
about
it's
ranking them
solid.
all. Yeah, and it's like that's something that's something people want to see. There's six of them now. So like people
Mm-hmm.
are gonna want to see we know over half of them. They're like, "Oh, who do you think's better? Kaiser or Sai? Who do you think's better? Loki or Kaiser? Who do you think's better?" Like usually Kaiser's
Yeah,
the
we've
main one because we see him the most.
yeah,
So it's
like
like,
this time last year, you probably couldn't really do anything like that because we had like what one new Gen 11, and it was Kaiser. And oh yeah, no, Loki wasn't even fucking confirmed this time last year.
yeah,
We
Loki was
literally only
confirmed.
knew about Sai and Kaiser and
Three,
Lorenzo,
Kaiser and Lorenzo. Yeah, that was it.
but
And
now
now we
obviously
know
we got more.
Bunny.
Yeah,
Logan, now we know Ugo. And Ugo's about to get his feats as well, which means we now have an argument. Like, we're going, like, I think this France game is only going to be like 20, 25 chapters. It's going to be like a little bit shorter than the Manshine and Uber's game because those are like
yeah,
30 chapters. So I think it'll be a little shorter. But we're going to get enough about Ugo to
to
actually
scale
like
him.
give him a solid. And instead of just saying, oh, he has no feats, so he's at the bottom. Like, that's
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah,
It's
because even
lame.
when I
It
was
just
like
means that
yapping about the new Gen 11s, I still kind of like bullshitted his way to being above Lorenzo, and that was based off fucking nothing. Aside from like,
Mm.
oh, this is a striker manga, so obviously if you work your way down the field, you're gonna get worse characters.
Yeah, because I already have, yeah, I have the ranking the new Gen 11s. And then I think another video that I want to do is like um, making the best Blue Lock starting 11 regardless of chemistry. Like, throw chemistry out the window. What's the
It's
best 11
objectively like
player?
this would
Yeah,
work all the time. It doesn't matter about fucking anything else. Yeah, I fuck with
yeah,
that.
ignore. I think that would be a good one. I think another YouTube video, well, because I want to do something similar to the series that I'm doing now on TikTok with like comparing Blue Lock players to real life players. I
Okay.
just, oh, there was one that I was thinking of. So this was going to be another TikTok series, along with my the NEL one. I
Yeah.
was going to take each Blue Lock player and what like who their team was for like what offer they got
Yeah.
and what would happen if you try to put those players onto the real life teams. Like if you took
Yo!
if you took Isagi, what would he genuinely be able to do if you put him on Bayern Munich right now? Like, what would he do? Like, how good would he play?
Yo! That's actually such a goated idea. Yeah, this is what I mean by like, I genuinely don't think there is another content creator out there that kind of does the same type of shit that you do. Because, like, even my type of videos, right? Reading the narrative, reading the exploring, explaining, there's clones of me and I'm clones of other people. If you looked at Blue Lock, there is not that many fucking people actually analyzing characters, breaking down what they're capable of, and then translating that into something IRL. Well, like against
Yeah.
IRL characters. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
damn, bro.
Yeah.
Actual
That's
fucking
something I just came up
genius.
because, like, because what I was thinking of was, and this kind of came up recently. It came up by chance. Um, I was watching Serie A recently,
Mm,
and I was watching AC Milan because I like Christian Pulisic as a player, and I was
okay.
like, "Dang, Christian Pulisic is so good! Like, I don't know how people compare him to other players." And when I, because one player he gets compared to within North America is Jonathan David. He plays for Canada. He plays
Yeah.
for Juve, and people tend to overrate him, at least from what I see. He missed a penalty, right?
Ooh.
Against, I can't
Ooh.
remember who it was against, but like
Ooh.
when he missed the penalty, I was like, Barrow would have never missed that
Yeah,
penalty. And I was
yeah.
like, wait,
My goat.
I was I was like, wait a second. What if Barrow replaced Jonathan David on Juventus? How good would he play? And I was like,
Actual
oh my
genius.
gosh, I could have what if Shido replaced Dembele on PSG? What if Kaiser replaced Mbappe on Real Madrid? And this, that, and the third. And you have like the obvious ones, right? But Corona, he has a bid from AS Monaco. Who is AS Monaco's right back right now? Who's their fullback and how good would he play? What like dimension could he bring to AS Monaco? Because like I'd have to look up who their right back is, but I
Yeah.
doubt he's a speedster who can perform quick turns and make short passes. So like that adds a whole new dimension to what AS Monaco can do with their team.
Exactly. And
And
you
like
can yap about
all
all
this
of that.
I can that's like that's so because like content obviously or like how long I can take a subject and like keep pushing it out. That's like the
Mhm.
last thing I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
But once you get to like, okay, I think people would be interested in this. I now have literally any player under 20, like outside of, Loki, because Loki's just an Mbappe clone. And I can just
Yeah.
say, well, if he was on PSG, he would just do similar things to Mbappe. That's kind of boring. But like, I have the 24 prominent blue lockers,
Yeah.
right? The 23 who make it, and then the 20, and then Nagi is 24. And then I could go into Tokimitsu maybe. I could go into Ikaguri. Then I have the new Gen 11. That's like 30 videos worth of content that I can push out. And maybe they'll hit. Maybe there'll be traction. That's a series that can last me 3, 4 months
Yeah,
just like by
exactly.
itself.
Not only
So
that,
it's
but then
like,
you could also explore like masters as well, because like I imagine we're obviously going to get introduced to more characters in the future. Maybe not to like the new Gen 11 title, but think about Nigeria. You've got, again, 4 more fucking people in Nigeria. That's 34 videos now. Because you could say, like, okay, yes, they all play on Nigeria, but what team would I put them on? I'd put them on blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
What team would they fit really good on?
And then
Because
whatever team
right now,
you say they fit on, you could then make the IRL video too. So you've basically got 2 videos out of one person existing on Nigeria. You could be like, oh
mhm,
yeah,
yeah,
if there was in the NEL, they'd go to fucking PXG.
yeah,
If they was on PSG, what would they play like?
yeah.
Infinite
How good
content
would they
glitch. Actual fucking genius. Holy
bring
shit.
him? Oh my gosh. Because it's like, what was I gonna say? Uh, oh, I think I lost it. No, I can't. I think I
Yeah,
lost
we
it. I
can
can't
we can
remember. But
also
yeah,
wrap up because we've been yapping for 2 hours. I didn't even realize how
yeah,
long we've been doing this for.
it was not supposed to be this
It was
long.
not supposed. We dead ass.
It was,
I remember us talking on your live stream, and you was like, "Yeah, I'm calm for a nice 40 minutes," and I was like, "Yeah, 40 minutes. That's good. That's good." We've been here for two
2
hours.
hours later. Like, oh my gosh. This is why I was like, because I remember back in when I was working at Chipotle, there was one other guy that we talked a lot about history, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, what if we just had a podcast and we talked about history? And he was like, I'd be down for that. We never got around to it, but like one of the things I always thought of was we both talked so much that we could never have a schedule. Like we would plan to talk, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it for an hour, and that's going to be it. We were
Mhm.
going to ramble on for like 3
Mhm.
hours, and we were going to get so
Yeah.
off topic.
Yeah.
That's what happened here. We got so
We have picked
far off
probably like the
topic.
2 worst people to put on a podcast because I don't know how because right. My TikToks, right? I know that it
Mhm,
seems like a staple that it's my thing and I upload 10-minute TikToks every single time. That's not even
mhm,
intentional. That's genuinely like I just so happen to keep fucking talking and I cap out at 10 minutes. I can't do more than 10 minutes. If I could do
mhm.
more than 10 minutes,
You
prepare for
would.
like 20 fucking minute long yap sessions.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
gosh.
so we've got me on the podcast, and then we've got
Mhm.
fucking Mr. Infinite Content Glitch over there who can come up with any ideas and keep fucking yapping about it. So it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
this podcast, it's gonna do good. It's gonna do good because we
I
literally
yeah,
can't shut
I
the
I, I
fuck up.
believe this. So you said you're gonna post this on YouTube? Just post on
Yeah.
YouTube or?
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna edit too much out of it. Obviously, there's that part that you said before, and I think I might try and put the Ichi the Witch part, slice that up, and put it at the end because obviously we kind of delved into that and then we jumped out of it really quickly because I need to read the
Yeah.
fucking manga again. But
Mhm.
yeah, like this one's basically just gonna be kind of a lot easier to upload and manage because it's basically just gonna be like, oh, in at 52 minutes in, we said something, we don't want that in, just cut that out and then just upload the rest of it kind of as a raw video. Because what is there really to edit? I'm not going to go through and find all the fucking panels. There's no goddamn way. Go and read the story yourself.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, if you want and you need help editing and like you want to put panels in, I can find the Ichi the Witch panels. Like I can do that
Yeah,
for
with
you
the Ichi
if
the
you want me
Witch
to.
one, I think we can do it for that one if you want to, because I would also want to get more people into reading Ichi the Witch. Because as far as I'm
Mhm.
aware, the fan base for it is not that fucking big. You are the only
Yeah.
content creator that I've seen make a video. Genuinely, outside
Mhm.
of you, I've not seen anybody else. And outside of those comments from your videos, I've not seen anyone else talk about it.
Yeah, most people who talk about it are um accounts that just talk about manga in general. Like
Right, yeah.
there's one I'm friends with. His name is Marcus Shouts Anime. He's talked about Ichi the Witch, but he also does Kagurabachi. He also does Jujutsu Kaisen. He also does Black Clover. He also does like he talks about just manga in general. So of
Hmm.
course he's going to bring it up. So it's like, yeah, I think I'm the only person that like posts consistent chapter reviews and chapter updates outside of that one person I was talking about earlier who has like the
Yeah.
complicated user. He he talks about he's more popular. Like his videos gain more traction about each of the witch than mine do. But that's because like, I do blue lock. And so when the
Yeah.
algorithm's like, wait, this isn't
You
blue
didn't
lock.
say that funny word. 100 views for
Yeah,
you.
that's not blue lock. We're not gonna push your video out as far. So, but
But
yeah.
we've got a lot of planned. I am gonna cut it off here because there's no way we're gonna go into another hour of yapping. There's no,
Yeah,
we
no,
can easily, but
plus
there's no way. Is there
Let's
anything
end
you want to
here.
say to like end it off? Any special words or anything?
Um, not really. I'm not big on being one of those people that's like, subscribe,
Yeah,
follow,
neither am
this, that,
I.
and the third.
If I
I
made
don't
a
like that.
video and you didn't feel compelled to like it or subscribe, then I'm not gonna tell you to do that because I didn't do my job.
Because like the only time I ever like I do that with my videos, with my YouTube videos, I say, oh, if you're liking the video so far, feel free to do this. But like I'm not going to tell you, make sure to like and subscribe and do all this like I never tell people to follow me on TikTok. Never. I will never say, if you like this type of content, follow me. If make sure to hit the follow button, or I will never tell people to do that. That just makes me feel weird to like
Yeah,
tell people
you're
to do
kind of
that.
like
Because like,
begging for attention, basically.
yeah, like if my video isn't entertaining enough for you to like it and follow me in the first place, asking's not gonna do like it's not gonna help me at all, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I've only posted, I think it was like 2 videos, kind of just telling people if you do like this content, subscribe, put notifications on. But that was literally just because like I uploaded videos for like a week and not a single one broke 1,000 views. And it's not even necessarily about like the video was trash or anything like that. The likes would be like 30% of the video's views. It's just that TikTok refuses to do its fucking job. It's like
Yeah.
I've constantly got that thing at the bottom being like, make this video a view magnet. How about you do your fucking job if you want people on your dogshit app? Like, what are you talking about? Why are you telling me to promote my video when people clearly like it already?
Yeah, I hate when because I'll be scrolling on TikTok, I'll see my own video and it's like
Mm-hmm.
this video's up for promotion. Like, no, I'm not gonna spend the money like trying to promote this video. And TikTok's like, oh, there's this stigma going around that promotion is gonna ruin your traction and this, that, and the third. Is like, I don't care. Like
I don't give a
promotion back in the
fuck.
day, like I promoted I promoted a couple videos. Like back in the day, it wasn't expensive. It would be
Oh
like
yeah, at the
spend
start,
five.
I did that shit as well. I think for like the first like week of videos that I uploaded, it was like £2 to push it out, and I was like, I might as well do it because if this can turn into a job, that this is a good start. This gets my face out there, and if my videos are good enough, then it's gonna obviously start snowballing and shit, which it did. But it's been fucking ages, absolute fucking ages since I've promoted a video. Why are you
Mhm.
telling me to do it
Yeah,
now?
I haven't in forever. I think the last video I promoted was back in early 2024. It's been like 2 years since I promoted a video because it wasn't bad. Like what use I don't know if you were promoting in early 2024, but what it you or like uploading, what it used to be is every once in a while you would get a like a gift card and or like
Yeah,
a coupon, and this coupon was like, here's 30% off for promotion, and I was like, sweet. So like there
sure.
would be a video. I was like, here's like $10 you can promote for 5,000 views. Well, you use this coupon, it's $7 now. Or you could do the $5 option. Now it becomes like $3 or whatever it was. And I was like, fuck it, why not? Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
but
because
nowadays
at
it's
the
like,
start, it's not even about like getting the attention or anything. It's more so of like you want more people to see it, so you've got a better gauge of like where you sit content creator wise. Like if you promote it to 5,000 people, you get 100 likes. You know that something's not gone right. But if you promote it to 1,000,
yeah.
like 5,000 people, and it actually gets 10K views, and you've got like 2,000 likes, you've got a
Mhm.
good idea of where you sit.
Yeah, because that's the thing about promotion. Usually, if it's good enough, it can exceed what the promotion prediction is. And I've had videos that are like that. I remember I had a video, I can't remember what it was, but I was only predicted to get like an extra 5,000 views. That video ended up having 15K. Like it exceeded the promotion value by a lot.
Yep.
So like that can happen. So like if you are starting out spending like, I want to say in total promotion money, I spent like $50 in total across
Yeah,
like a
I'd
year.
say about obviously because currency exchange, I'd say about £30 ish, 30 £40 ish, so about $50.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, okay, we should probably stick
Yeah,
with it
yeah.
there.
Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up. I don't really know
Seriously,
how to end a podcast, so I'm just kind of gonna say shout out to uncloop. If you haven't checked him out already, don't, because he's beating me in subscribers, so don't go and follow him.
hey, no.
No, but check my boy out. He's obviously one of the goated content creators. I myself also upload on TikTok. You're probably never gonna see me on that app though. But I think that's everything to end a podcast. Thanks for indulging our bullshit as always.
Yeah,
Never stop updating your
yes.
world's perspective. Drink water. Look after yourself. Peace.